I'm live, apparently. Oh, there I am. Hey. What's that? I don't know. Is anyone here? Can anyone hear if I'm online? Let's see. So anyway, I thought I'd start nattering anyway. Let's see. When's the person going to come in? Hey! Oh my God. LeJean, you're so quick that you actually come in while it still registers 0 people here. You are incredibly fast, LeJean. You are on a whole different level. As you're here first, I've got a lot of things to talk about. But first of all, I will point out to you, LeJean, one of the things I was going to talk about later, but as you're here first, I'm going to mention it, is that I am going to be going back in future World Tour Wednesdays and having a listen to some of the artists who have come up previously. Just, sort of recapping artists who maybe need a second listen. And I kind of figured there would be a lot from the South Korean episode. So that will be Twice and BTS. They'll come up again. So thank you for the links you gave me. I'll be looking into those. But anyway, now for everyone, as we've got 2 people, hello and welcome to the live stream. Back down to 1. Wow, I didn't say hello fast, it would seem. So there's a lot of things to talk about today. So many things to talk about, but I'm going to take my time. I'm going to wait for everyone to filter in. And first of all, just ask you, how have you been? Hello, Lenny. How have you been, Lenny? How have you been, LeJean? How are you two? How is everything today? Come on, everyone. If you can hear me, type. Tell me how your day's been, and then we'll see how many people join us and we can talk about more and more things. Well, I'll let you know that I've been working really hard today. I recorded 14 reaction videos today. 14. As well as doing all the normal daily stuff I have to do. Very good, my friend. How about that? It's always good to hear you're doing good, sir. Very good to hear you're doing good. Actually, I'll tell you what, as you guys are here early, I'm going to do that annoying thing. You know when someone goes out somewhere and they see something and then they annoy you by showing the photographs? It's kind of like, Facebook has made that better because now you don't have to see them unless you want to. You can just press like and pretend you looked at them. But then there's always those annoying people who have to show the photographs. I'm going to do that to you now. Figured out how to turn on notifications, which is why I'm here. I'm glad. I'm actually glad. Actually, as you mentioned, I need to change live chat into whatever the other thing is where it doesn't block people. I haven't got any options yet. Well, this is really confusing. Oh, well, anyway, while that waits to happen. So walking home, outside of my home, there was like a big festival, like street festivals, like the summer festival happening right now. And oh wow, this is gonna be really loud. But I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh no, there's too many reflections on the screen. Oh well, there was that weird thing where they balance the lanterns on a huge pole and the guy just holds them like this. Except for this time, they all fell down. Which I know is that's always the thing. Oh, are they going to fall down? But they all fell down. If you guys have never seen this before, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But hey, it was really interesting to see. In England, you can't have stuff like that because health and safety laws. So lanterns, they have fire on the end of huge sticks. No, have that in public. Here it's just like, oh, it's a lot of burning lanterns falling down on top of people. Oh, isn't it jovial? People are smart enough to move out of the way or maybe cover their heads. 14, enough for 2-week vacation. I wish so. Well, actually, the reason I should churn through so many was because I've started, like I did with World Domination, I'm doing some listen throughs. And I've got, actually, I'll talk about it now. I'm hoping he turns up in the live stream, but I've got a lot of things that I have to listen through to. Now, first of all, I think I might have mentioned this before, but I'm going to be doing a track-by-track listen through to Silent Siren, because I like them. And I was really interested to actually take in a full album. So I recorded reactions to every single track on there. So they're going to be running alongside the video reviews, alongside a lot, and I do mean a lot, of... we got a lot of Bandmade, thanks to a really wonderful temporary donation. But yeah, so the idea is that I'm going to be listening to, hopefully like every day you'll see like one listen through to a non-Bandmade album. Obviously I'm getting through those, so maybe there'll be one track from a Bandmade album every day, one track from a non-Bandmade album every day, and maybe like one video reaction and like one reaction from like James and Bubbles. Yeah, that Bandmade collection, man. I'll tell you what, I'm really actually really honored. This was I don't know if I'm actually allowed to say who lent their collection to me, but this was from you guys probably know if you've been following the chats on the live streams, but one of the very kind followers of this channel actually met me in Japan and lent me their collection. So I have been in a state of utter terror. You have no idea how much bubble wrap I have, because if people love their CDs as much as I love my music collection, there's nothing more fearful than the idea of someone having your CDs. And especially like the band Michael CD, this thing comes in so many layers of protection. There's like, you guys might have seen this. You have like the case. Within the case, there is, I've been keeping them all separately in bubble wrap. Terror. There's a bag, and the bag opens up, and within the bag is placed the CD. Now, obviously, because I'm having to take it out a couple of times, I've decided to keep all of those parts separately bubble wrapped. So I only have to take it out once and put it back once at the end of the procedure. But yeah, no, it's that's I'm both honored and terrified to have someone's Bandmade CD collection within my grasp. But like I say, obviously I know if I just do Bandmade, people are gonna go, okay, do something different. So I will be doing other artists. I'm still going to be doing the CDs that I pick up from the shops. So I'll just give you an idea. Two of the CDs that I'm going to be working on first, like I say, the band Michael CD. I'm jumping in with that quite soon. And today I went through and reacted to the whole of S by Silent Siren. This album actually, I know some of the tracks are not going to appeal to the hard rock fans, but there's some tracks on this that you guys really should check out, actually, because I don't want to spoil too much, but that album had more on it than I was expecting. You know, more variation on it than I expected. So there's some really awesome stuff on there. So when you say typo after doing awesome with a 3 on the end, I just assumed that you were just cool. You're one of those cool people who replaces letters with numbers, you know, like everything's a number play. You know, I don't write A's anymore, I just write 4s. I don't write B's anymore, I just write 8s. I figured it was just that, but typo indeed. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to a lot of stuff we're doing, but because we're looking at posting something like 3 or 4 videos a day at this rate, just because the videos are going to be so different. Like, you're going to have album listen throughs, which are going to be audio. You're going to have video watches. You're going to have Bubbles and James doing their thing, because they're going to be so different. I wanted to keep a little bit of everything happening every day, and that means we're looking at like 3 or 4 videos a day. So I really had to take opportunity. I had a bit more of a quiet Saturday than I usually have. Usually Saturday's very busy for me, which is why I do this so late. But I had a bit more of a quiet Saturday than usual. So I thought, right, let's just dig in and just do loads of them. I did. Like I say, 14 I did today, and I'm intending to do hopefully another 10 tomorrow. I'll tell you what, as you're here, I'm going to talk you through, because we've written down the schedule all the way through for the next couple of days. I'm not going to tell you exactly what's happening on what days, but just to give you an idea of some of the stuff that's coming up, because there's so many suggestions. It's amazing. The suggestions along with the stuff that we're doing anyway would take us enough time to go through months. But if we just start from, I'll give you some ideas of what's coming up in the near future. We've got Time by Bandmade, Mardellis. I think it's Mardellis the Third. We're going to be listening to them. Like I say, S by Silent Siren. Got 2 Ningen songs coming up. I have now worked out that it's actually Ningen Is, not Ningen Isu. It's because it was always written in Roman characters. I didn't think of that. Perfume, we've got 3 Perfume songs coming up soon. We got a new track from Sayuri. We got Unlucky Morpheus, more from the Peggies. I'll mention what's coming up on our next World Tour Wednesday. I think a lot of you guys know, but we're going to mention that anyway. We've got the band Maiko CD review. We've got more from James. We've got Made in Japan by Bandmade's also going to be starting up quite soon after the band Maiko one, because that's quite a short EP, as we've already done 2 of the songs from that. And starting from, I think this is next weekend, we will be having our Baby Metal Top 10. Shortly followed by the Monday after that, there'll be Gakaric Spin. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I never got my head around how to pronounce that. People have been waiting for months for me to review that band, so they're coming up very soon as well. There's a lot of stuff coming up on the channel. I've been going through suggestions, and to be honest, I haven't even put everything in the schedule yet, and that already takes us through way over a week's worth of videos, with 4 videos a day. So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff coming out soon. I should point out as well, Bubbles sends his apologies. I mean, I'm not at liberty to give too much away. It's nothing too bad from what I'm aware of, but he's going through a lot right now. So I've just kind of said to him, I was like, just dude, take your time. He's been involved in, he joined the radio station a little bit late in the day. I invited him to come in and help when James was quite busy, but now since moving over to doing this channel on YouTube, he's been really involved from the beginning. So I told him, obviously he's always got a home here, but he needs a couple of weeks, I think, just to sort of get some things out of the way so he can record his reactions nice and comfortably. I know he likes to relax and do them. So, I'm just sort of, I said to him, take your time. But Bubbles is coming back. I know we've had some comments about where is he. He is coming back. Don't worry. He will have all the madness that we usually have, all the weird songs that I can't touch, that he finds from the rear end of the internet. Incidentally, he did cover one of our main staples on this channel, and he really didn't like them at all. So I am looking forward to seeing if you guys can guess which video that is when I post it. But there was one of the bands that we listen to a lot on this channel. He didn't like them. No. So I'm thinking of sending him like 4 or 5 more songs by them. So anyway, James, hi, I'm here. Yes, you are, James. Nice to see you. Not just music. I'm going to try to look at Japanese YouTube videos as well. I want to tell me what you mean by that. Yeah, I mean, obviously, just we're having a board meeting in the middle of live chat, but that, because obviously, because I'm posting the videos here, I have to be a little bit careful. If I'm doing it and there's copyright problems, it can be a huge issue. And also just like on how I'm going to do the hashtags and stuff. So yeah, maybe get back to me on that first of all, just so I know what you're talking about first of all. Yes, finally the top 10 is coming. Yeah, Lejean, the top 10 is coming. Also, that career special is coming as well. When I say the career special, I mean the blog on what happened in Korea. That has somewhat taken a bit of a backseat because, like I say, that's something which I'm doing. Obviously, it's a nice thing for you guys and me to share, but I know that most of the interest and drive is behind the musical stuff. So as there's been a lot of push, I've been putting that to the front. These documentaries we've been talking about for the last 2 months, they're still coming as well, but that's something, once again, because that's more of a project that's stepping to the back a bit. There's also a very big project coming up quite soon on the channel, which is going to be a really interesting, it's going to give you guys a really interesting new perspective, hopefully, on the songs that you love from the bands you love in a really unexpected way. I can't give anything away. It's a big surprise, and it's taking a lot of work setting it up. But it's coming, and if it starts working, it's going to be a massive thing as well for the channel. So there's a lot of things coming up, but at the moment, I didn't want to take too long, especially with Metal Galaxy, kind of around the corner. Let's be honest, it's going to be coming sometime relatively soon in the next few months. I thought, let's get the, I've heard all the Baby Metal songs. I've been churning them around for a couple of weeks now. I know what my top 10 is, so I'm going to dive in and do that. Just so you know, it's going to be... Yes, Harrow, it's there. Just so you know, the Baby Metal one is going to be split into 2. I just want to get your guys' opinions on this, but I'm pretty confident on why I'm doing it. There's a few reasons, partly for the good of the channel and statistics, and partly because I think it's a nice way of doing it. But basically, it'll be done on Saturday and Sunday, and it will be on Saturday, it will be songs 10 to 6, and on Sunday, it'll be songs 5 to 1. So it'll be done as 2 videos. It's good for, like I say, it's good for channel statistics, and also adds a nice little element of tension because you guys can check out the first part on Saturday, and then you get to a little bit of time to gestate and expect what's coming in Sunday. It's kind of, it's fun. And also because obviously we're doing the Saturday night live conversation like this, that means that you guys will have a chance to maybe sort of put your theories of what's going to be in the top 5 to me before you see it on the Sunday night. So I think that'd be quite fun. I'm hoping to break that up in 2. Anyway, let's have a look, see what we got here. 1362 MN. You've got one of those names that just rolls off the tongue, by the way. Do you have an email one can use to send music to you directly? Actually, we've got a Gmail with this account. Let's have a look at it. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Lejean. Yeah, definitely 2-parter then I think we'll go for. Just sorry, returning to your point about the email. We do. what I'm going to do, while we just got the live chat on, I've never logged into it before. Never logged into it because it's a Gmail one, and I don't use Gmail. Just never really came up. I guess now I've got one Android phone, it would make sense for me to use Gmail on occasion. Oh, because I'm logged into YouTube, it'll log me in straight away. Oh, God. When you open it up, it's just got all your notifications from YouTube in there. Oh, God, no, I don't need that. I get them on YouTube already. Oh, Gmail, you're doing everything to make me hate you. I know everyone uses Gmail, but oh, God. Security alert. Patreon has granted access to your account. That's because I created a Patreon account. Don't worry, it's not open yet. I just did that in advance. All right, guys. But yeah, after our last conversation, I was thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to start setting up the Patreon. And I did, but it's asking for so many graphics and things. I've got to get it looking nice before it's published. You know, I'm very carefully about all of this stuff. Think very carefully. So yeah, okay, let's have a look. I'm finding that. Sorry, I'm finding that email address for you. Oh, there it is. So if you want to send me music directly, I'm still getting used to this inbox. So apologies if I don't reply straight away. But why can I not copy my own email address? Oh, Gmail is actually really annoying me straight away. There we go. All right, cool. If you send it to thebackerreview@gmail.com, then it will come through to my inbox or possibly my trash box or my junk box or my bin or whatever you want to call it. And I'll have to rummage through all of the crap that Google is sending me to find it. But it's a pretty good place to start. So yeah, if you want to send anything to me, I do also have a Hotmail account. The only problem is that one I use for lots of other types of work as well. So it is quite possible I'll overlook things there. So yeah, send it to the Backer Review. I know this is like 20 years, but I'm still going to say it all one word @gmail.com. You know, there's still some people who actually think it matters whether you put capital letters in an email address. Hint, it doesn't. It never did. So that's the email address for the channel. So I guess I should start using that. It's better than me giving you my work email address, because if I give you my work email address, I'm just going to miss everything you send. And I always feel really guilty about the stuff I miss in the comments and things like that. Just spend a lot of time trying not to miss anything. So anyway, yeah, if you want to send me anything, please do. As always, look, guys, you don't know how much I appreciate all the wonderful links and things you guys send me. But please, like I say, be aware that given the backlog, even though I'm upping it to 4 videos a day, please be aware that, you know, when you send me a suggestion, we're looking at like 2 or 3 months for me to get around to them sometimes. Obviously, if it's involved in a series of videos that we're doing, like, you know, like I say, I'm trying to up the perfume content moment because a lot of people have requested that. Those ones, because I'm trying to shoehorn in more perfume videos and get more into that cycle, they're going to be moved forwards, obviously, if you make those suggestions. But if you're suggesting something brand new, I will do it. I will definitely listen to it. But just be aware it's going to get a little bit pushed back in the overall size of things. I'm just going to send you my entire playlist of Logons Hill songs. Logons Hill actually on here. Do you know what? I was really shocked because obviously, like I said, I know nothing about them except for just seeing their name everywhere for years now, but I've never done any research. I was really shocked when I suddenly saw the lead singer. I was like, that's not what I expected. I was kind of, I don't know, for some reason I was like expecting a boy band or something. I'm useless. I apologize. Obviously, as well. By the way, if you guys haven't, check out James did his review of the Made Dreaming Made Cafe theme song. Didn't get too many views, which I'm not overly surprised at, because obviously it's not something which is so much generally known to people. But I would check that out. That's also the first video. James actually edited that one himself. I put my titles on it as usual, but check that out. Give a bit of support and some comments as well, because, you know, like I say, it's really great. James just I didn't say anything about it to him. I didn't want to put the extra pressure on him while he's running his shop, but he got the software, he downloaded it, and he's already doing a really great job cutting up the video. So do check that out. Show a little bit of support, encourage him to do more, because it's really great having him on those as well. I even did that little intro for him. Has anyone seen the new intro I gave to James? I think it was awesome. I think it's cool. But anyway, actually, no, Lenny, you've already checked out the video as well. Actually, and I had a couple of people have been through there. But yeah, anyone who wants to jump in on that. Hyde, is it pronounced Hyde, the vocalist name? Dresses like a girl with Lark on Lark, but then you see him in his emo form for his solo stuff. Yeah, I'm not surprised he's got a solo thing as well. It's a pretty shocking comparison. Yeah, I can imagine that. Kind of reminded me of the whole thing. You guys remember the story I told you just before of when I met and interviewed Miyavi. He just kind of looked like a wannabe mafioso. And then I saw the actual photos of him. I was like, oh, he dresses like that. Okay. I wasn't really familiar with like the whole Visual K androgynous look at the time, but yeah, that was really surprised. So I'm kind of now, I'm not overly shocked when I see that. And even the singer from Unlucky Morpheus, was that name Fuki? I think it is Fuki. Who's also, you know, Doll's Box on Lucky Morpheus. She changes her look like all the time. She's like, oh, I look like this. Oh, I look like that. Who am I? Hey, different person every time. Afternoon, CMC. Welcome back. I love the fact that some of you guys are so available at this time. James, my internet died. Anyway, yes, I hope my get over there past copyright. Yeah, by the way, James, if your internet just died, that was perfect. You just avoided the bit where I was talking up how awesome you did. Lejean, you interviewed Miyavi too. Dearest interview, and you do too. I'm sad. Akidarist. I don't know Akidarist. Then again, if that's a YouTuber, like I said, I don't know a huge number of YouTubers who do music. Well, certainly not in the Japanese scene, at least. But I interviewed Miyavi now. It was right after, it was before that film he did with Angelina Jolie. It was the first one we'd acted in. I won't repeat this whole story again because a lot of people have already heard it. But it was between the filming and the release. So we were talking to him about his tour. He was doing a 2-man tour, just him and the drummer. But at the same time, he was also, you know, sort of getting ready to promote this movie, which did turn out to be an utter bomb. It was his acting debut and Angelina Jolie's directing debut. And it kind of got labeled as being, you know, rather heavy-handed attempt at addressing some delicate material, but yeah. So I had a very awkward interview with him. I've had many discussions with fans as to why afterwards. I mean, he's a fantastic musician. Whether you like his style or not, he was a brilliant musician. They gave us free tickets to the show, and it was fantastic seeing what he did in a 2-man show. But in the interview, just didn't go well. It just felt like, you know, like I said, it just felt awkward. Didn't feel like he really was engaging with any of the questions. He was just kind of trying to steer everything towards like these really hippie answers. And so, you know, I would love to meet him again now and try and do the interview a second time and just see if it went the same. Aki Dearest, sorry to say, she runs an anime channel and she's a huge fan of his, as I am too. That's interesting. So, I mean, as you guys probably know, I'm not anti-anime. I've watched a few animes before, but I'm not someone who's like sort of majorly into anime. So, this is probably why I haven't come across her. But yeah, all credit to her. I mean, she's clearly good job if she's doing an anime channel and she's interviewing musicians. That's fantastic. I mean, the interview I did with Miyavi was one of the many precursors to where we are now. It was like for like a magazine I worked with doing a podcast. Before that podcast was replaced with another podcast, which was replaced with the radio show, which was replaced with this. So my Miyavi interview is going back quite a few years now. And if you're a Miyavi fan, you'll have known from my description earlier when that, like, placing the movie. I can't even remember what that movie was called. I think he's done a few more since, but anyway, that's by the by. Anyway, just while we're here, I want to be absolutely clear with you guys that in no sense do I ever have any bias. I'm never biased in my reviews. When I review bands, there's never any bias. I don't have favorite members, nothing like that. I'm always very fair. I always give everyone an equal chance, and I never am ever biased. It's really important to remember, I think. You know, it's always good to be fair in your reviews. Anyway, moving on. So I'm just going to repeat a couple of points just quickly. I know there's some guys from the beginning of the live stream have heard me say this, but I'm going to go over a few things quickly again, just as a few more people have joined. First of all, we're upping the output to about 4 videos a day. That's hopefully going to be quite regular. It's going to involve more album listen throughs like we trialed with the Bandmade World Domination. I have been very, very, very kindly lent something that I am terrified to even hold, which is an entire collection of Bandmade CDs. So the terror is on me. You wouldn't believe the amount of bubble wrap I've got over here, actually, because I wasn't even happy to leave them in the bag that they were given to me in. So I've just been using like loads of bubble wrap to keep them safe. I'm terrified of having someone else's CD collection. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to be doing album listens, which is going to involve the Bandmade CDs. It's going to involve a few other CDs I've got. Like I say, we're going to be picking up on S by Silent Siren because I really wanted to cover that album. It's an interesting one. There's going to be other CDs that I've picked up as well, some oddities. We're going to be doing obviously the normal video reviews that we normally do. Bubbles is on a little bit of a hiatus as he's got some personal stuff going on, but I've said to him, don't worry, take your time. I've asked him just to, get back into it when he's ready, when he's, got everything sorted out. James obviously has started editing his own videos. As I mentioned before, check out his review of the Maid Cafe theme song, which you'll be able to find that quite easily. It's quite a recent one. I think it's actually the last one I put. Definitely worth checking out. He started editing his own videos. He's doing a fantastic job. Obviously, I'm still putting my captions all over them and ruining all his hard work, but it doesn't matter. Still check him out. Really happy he's doing that. And yeah, the Baby Metal Top 10 is coming hopefully next weekend. It's going to be split in 2. Saturday will be 10 to 6, not the time. Songs 10 till 6. And then Sunday will be 5 to 1. And there's so many things coming up in the way. Let's have a look here. You have the Band Micro EP. I currently have, well, I'm just going to say I have Harrow's Band Micro CD. You have no idea how terrifying it is. It's kind of in a bag here. I'm just so scared of anything touching it. The packaging is so nice and so delicate, and it's in a little plastic sleeve. I've been taking it out carefully. So anyway, everything's been kept in bubble wrap. I just need to get through these reviews without damaging someone else's CD collection. And then, yes, I'll be able to give track-by-track reviews of all of those songs. The idea is the track-by-track reviews. At the moment, I was doing them in jumps. Like you had 3 songs and a gap and then 3 songs. I'm hoping to do it daily. So, track 1 will be like Monday, track 2 will be Tuesday, track 3 will be Wednesday, something like that, and maybe have a couple of albums running at the same time, but a lot more track-by-track listen throughs because I can do them quite quickly and easily. Today, I recorded 14 reactions, and I'm aiming to do another 10 tomorrow, so I'm really getting ahead of the game while I've got a clear weekend. Who's your Baby Metal bias? Lejean says. Mine is definitely Moa, the little Mochi. I find that difficult because, in a way, obviously, I think it's hard with Baby Metal because you've got kind of Sue is the only one who's really been given the chance to stand out creatively on her own as she's put at the front of the band. But that always that kind of warms me more to the underdogs, the 2 girls at the back. But obviously one of them's gone. So now it's just kind of, do you like Sue or do you like Moa? I kind of feel like I have to be in Moa's corner because I think Moa, she deserves I don't know if she just doesn't particularly want it. A lot of people said that she just comes for what she does, and just when they've got another 3rd member, it's going to be easy. She can just relax into her position again. But I want her to be given more. I want her to be challenged more because she can sing, and she's done some songs up front with like Black Baby Metal and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I guess I'm always going to be biased towards wanting the best for Moa because I think Sue's already got the best possible situation. CMC, Bandmade's first show with Psyche was with Passport. And Silent Siren almost 6 years ago. Maybe that's where the friendship started. That's a really interesting point. I don't know, but it seems quite possible. Passport, they're doing quite a lot of sales in Japan at the moment. They're really popular. I don't know too much of a deal with them. I might have to go check them out as well. Are they all 3 of these bands quite close then? That's an interesting point. Oh yeah, if it wasn't my own copy, I'd be dreading life if something happened to it. Yeah, that's my point. I mean, I know what it's like with my CD collection, which I didn't actually bring my CD collection to Japan. They're in very safe hands in England, but they're kind of basically in a basement under lock and key, which is fine by me. But yeah, I just, you know, you guys know this. When you've got someone else's CDs and you love your own CDs, it's like looking after someone else's children. It's like, you know, don't get too close to the fire. 1362 Sue Metal, yeah, okay, yeah, I get that. I get why people love Sue. I mean, she is the voice of Baby Metal. If someone actually said, you know, she is Baby Metal, I would find that a hard one to argue with. She basically carries the vocal direction, doesn't she? Lejean, watch their funny moments. Who's that in regards to? Is that regards to Paspo or Bandmaid or Baby Metal, Silent Siren? I was actually watching because, like I say, I've actually, although I haven't even started posting yet, I've reviewed this entire album now. It's got a really interesting DVD on it, which is just them like buying street food in Taiwan. And it's about half an hour. And it's actually really quite interesting, quite entertaining. So that was a good, funny moment. Lenny, how is Yui's solo career going? That's a point, actually. I haven't even tried thinking about what Yui's doing. I've been concentrating so much on these Bandmaid videos. I didn't even think, what the hell is Yui doing? Good point, Lenny. Good point. You know, where's why has this not come up? Links. All right, I gotta open that links thing again. You guys know I close this while I'm talking. I just keep on writing things in class. So let's check out a bit of Passport. Let's check out a bit of Yui from Baby Metal, as opposed to the pop singer Yui. That's interesting because she can't start her career as Yui because there's already an extremely famous pop singer in Japan, like a legendary status one called Yui. And if she called herself Yui Metal, then she has to stick to metal. So I guess she's got an interesting choice. I guess she's gonna have to go for a like full legal name. Nothing yet. She's healed up, so expecting some news on Yui in the future. Okay, interesting. Not everyone wants the limelight. Sometimes they just want to do their job and then be able to have a normal life. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I always remember, I mean, you guys probably know from watching a few of these, I grew up on a healthy diet of listening to a lot of like Blur and sort of Damon Albarn projects. And I always remember how when he started doing Gorillaz, one of the main attractions for him to doing the Gorillaz project was the fact that he didn't have to be the celebrity. He could just do the music and not be seen, which is interesting to hear from a front man. So, hey, Lazy Lion, nice to see you. So I understand some people not so much want to run away and hide, but just kind of just want to do the music, you know? So I wouldn't be surprised if Yui turns up. Maybe she just totally flip her name. You know, maybe she use her connections and any money she's gained and management she's got access to start afresh and just accept a smaller fan base and a smaller collection of people, but just do something maybe that appeals to her more. Maybe she's got ambitions as a writer and that's something she wants to do, be a writer and a musician. We saw her in that Judas Priest duet, I guess you could call it, sing-along song, where she had her hands on a guitar and she was playing, even if it was turned down. Both her and Mo were playing. So, yeah, maybe she's got ambitions that we haven't had a chance to see yet. Haro, Yui is back on list of available person on Amuse page, so maybe back in action in the near future. That's a really interesting insight. Cleverly done, actually. Good idea to go to Amuse to have a check on that. Okay, well, if she's back on there, I mean, that might just be so that they can keep her ready for bookings in the future. That probably doesn't necessarily determine if she's actually doing anything. It could just be their way of clarifying that they still have like a legal agreement with her for future projects, you know, because there will be people looking. But it is interesting to know that she's on there and she's made clearly available. CMZ Psyche wants that just to sing and let Miku do all the rest of her stuff. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that a lot with Psyche. She's that lead singer. She's got the voice, but I mean, in a way, you look at someone like Misa on bass. She might appear to sort of want to stick into the background and wear dark clothes, but I think her thing is more just she likes having attitude. She's the attitude member. She's the sort of darker, moody member. Or at least a stage present. Whereas I think with Psyche, it's more just a case that she just kind of wants to sing and be left alone. I see that. I agree with that. Miku, like I say, I hadn't really seen her properly take hold of the stage until seeing the live version of Rockin' Me. And there's no doubt she owned that stage. It was fantastic. I know she only had one song to do it in. And of course, if you're bursting all your energy out in one song, then, you know, it's always going to look better. But she really did just own that stage fantastically. Controlled the crowd, controlled the band, brilliant stuff. So, yeah, there is an interesting difference there. So I think it's kind of nice as well that Miku is the band's original forming member, isn't she? She's the one who instigated the band's existence, and therefore she kind of like she has in many levels the right to stand at front of stage. It's not just her personality. She kind of, you know, she's the architect of the group, isn't she? So yeah, no, I'm all for the idea of her being up front. Wow, we're already 35 minutes in. This is an interesting conversation. Let me have a bit of water. It's so hot. So which you are talking about? Yui Metal. That's right. See, I was saying to the guys just before, you can hear Yui is dangerous if she has a solo career, because you'll get confused with Yui, the famous pop singer, or one of the millions of other Yuis who exist in Japan. And just to correct, just in case anyone had mentioned, I have now realized that I've been pronouncing the name of band Ningen Isu wrong. It's Ningen Is. Just when you see it written in English characters, it has a U on the end. You just pronounce the U, and then just suddenly I saw it written in Japanese. I was like, oh, it's not Ningen Isu, is it? It's Ningen Is. So yeah, we're talking about pronunciations. Lejeune, yeah. I'll catch up with that. 1360. Please look into. Oh, this is going to take some pronouncing. Yukueshira Zutsurezure, aka not secured loose ends. All right. No idea. So I'm just going to copy it in the suggestions, and that will come up. As always, if you've got a link you want me to go for, I will. The human chair. Izuno Yui. Yeah, there you go. Name clarification. Yui from USA Teikoku is my favorite Yui. Oh, we're gonna have to rank the top Yuis of all time, greatest Yuis, and if actual just Yui is not on the Yui list, that would be very bad for her. I was just answering Lazy Lion's comment. Okay, all right, okay, that's okay. There we go. Sorry, yeah. Sometimes there's ultimate threads. I can't just say to you guys, only talk to me. So sometimes you'll talk to each other, and then I'll get confused. That's fine. I'm 33, but I've got the brain of a 90-year-old. The Fairy Nation. That's just one of those names where you think that could go any number of ways. So I'm writing it down. Bruh, Yosei Goku is awesome. Mirai Nikki opening. Sorry, my inner otaku coming out. Do you know what, actually? I'm interested to see what you guys think. I mean, I've never really followed anime singers much because most of them don't have huge solo careers. There's a couple who I'm quite familiar with, but one who's a huge name, and I don't really know her too well. I've heard a couple of her songs, but just kind of in the background. But she's advertised everywhere. In fact, actually, we were talking about Akihabara before. If you go to Akihabara, you're going to see her posters even more than you see maid cafes. This woman is everywhere in Akihabara all the time on every billboard. And that's Nana Mizuki. Does anyone know anything about Nana Mizuki? Is she worth checking out? I know she's got a massive otaku fan base. There's so many people love her in that fan base, and she's been around that much, and she's one of those artists who's so popular. She's had like 1 million separate best of collections. But I'm wondering, is she worth checking out? Do you guys think I should check her out? Or do you even know who she is? Or is she just a Japan only thing? And I'm going to need some real Japanese specifics on that. You guys let me know. Have you heard of Garnidelia? You know what? I have. And I don't know why. I have definitely heard that name. Now, I don't know if someone just suggested it to me or something, but I have definitely heard that name. So don't tell me anything too much more. I'm going to go and check that out. Let's have a look. Here's a top 10 Yui list. That's tempting nonsense. Let's just avoid that for now, and then it'll come back in my brain later, and I'll accidentally do it. Do you know what? I have actually spent a surprising amount of time. You know, in our last conversation, does anyone remember Pink Fluffy Pentagram? That came up a lot in the last live conversation. It's been going through my head a lot, and I did start accidentally writing riffs for a potential Pink Fluffy Pentagram. I just need to find people to hire off the street and make them members of the band, and then I'll invent a band especially for this channel, and we'll call it. There'll be a faux fluffy sugary intense metal group called Pink Fluffy Pentagram. Yes, a top 10 new list. Yeah, I read that. Anime was my gateway to Japanese music. I think for a lot of people it was. Nana Mizuki is a VA voice actress. That makes sense. Who also has a music career. First to perform in Tokyo Dome. Well, there's not a huge surprise in that case then. Yeah, I mean, actually, if you guys go back again, I keep on mentioning this. There's some really interesting songs that we covered back in the beginning of this channel, which were over from the radio show, that we couldn't really cover now because they just didn't get much interest. They were so unique. But there was one thing where we were picking we were listening to songs from a CD. It was a cover CD of Japanese voice actresses singing Western like punk and pop punk songs, and there was like one voice actress singing Smells Like Teen Spirit, one singing Anarchy in the UK, one singing Pretty Fly for a White Guy. You guys really have to go back to the beginning of this channel if you haven't already. Just go back to those early videos and see some of the crazy stuff that we picked up on there, especially if you're into voice actresses. Like I said, it was 3 fantastic ones back there. And actually, they were covered with both me, James, and Bubbles. We all had listened to those. So there's some really funny stuff on those. Let's have a look here. Lazy Lion, Garnadelia is pretty good. I'm really going to have to remind myself who Garnadelia is. I'll tell you what, just before I go any further, I'm just going to quickly put them into Google search just to see if suddenly an image comes up and I go, oh, yeah. Garnadelia. It's really weird. I'm sure I recognize them, but I definitely haven't listened to them on this channel. Do you know what I think it is? I think someone's like played them to me before. I think someone's played me Garnadelia and I just haven't followed up on it. Or maybe I was drunk. It's possible I was drunk. That would explain a lot. Maybe I was drunk. Okay, Garnadelia. They deserve a re-listen. I've already written it down. When did I do that? Oh my God, maybe I'm drunk now. Pink Fluffy Pentagram is the style of the Flying Pickets. Pentagram is the name of my bomb North Korea remix. What I really love is it's like you guys are all like, instead of having an executive producer, you guys are like a committee executive producer. It's like the direction of this band is being steered by a bunch of people who all want very weird things for this, and the band hasn't even been completed yet. That'll be the ultimate project. That'll be the grand crescendo of this channel, the one from which we can never come back, is when we actually manage to create our own backup breakband and call them Pink Fluffy Pentagrams. That's the point. Is it plural? Is it Pink Fluffy Pentagram or Pink Fluffy Pentagrams? I think plural sounds more like a pop group. Let's see how many members I recruit. Japanese music was my entry to anime. Yeah, I think that also, it's less common, but I think that is something that does happen. Is Jigoku no Aloha by Ning? Do you know what, Lenny? My apologies. If someone sent me a link, I'm really sorry, but I have actually looked really hard and I can't find it. I've had a lot of trouble finding that song. So if someone can give me a link, I'm really sorry. I think someone probably has sent me a link in the past and I've accidentally skipped over it, or I've missed it. I've written it down somewhere and lost it when the computers were changed. I don't know, but if someone has sent the link, I apologize, but I really would appreciate a link to that song because I cannot find it despite my best looks. And I really want to hear that one just because the name is so mad, so mental. Is Sharanpo Rantan on the list yet? Actually, I think that is. Like I said, it's not on the schedule. I was reading out earlier in the live stream, I was reading out the schedule roughly of what's coming up in the next couple of weeks. It's not on the schedule yet, so it's still a few weeks out, but it is on the list. I do remember that one actually is further on the list. I've kind of got the schedule, which is the ones I've kind of started, getting all the material and stuff ready and booking time in my day to do the reactions and various things. And then I have the list, which is the songs that I need to cover but haven't been put anywhere in the sort of arrangement. Like I said, there's certain bands like Perfume, if you make a suggestion, that's going to come to fruition quicker because I'm trying to cram up on Perfume songs for a larger project. But there's some smaller bands who I kind of have to drip feed them through because they usually get lower views, so I can't pile too many of them together. I have to put them alongside bigger projects that we're doing on the channel or more popular ones. So those ones tend to take longer to get to. So it is on the list, but I will check and just see how far away that is. Pink Fluffy Pentagram, a cappella style. Well, let's do an a cappella mix after we've got a band. Or maybe they're, do you mean like an a cappella group? Like they're a barbershop quartet or something? Are you giving up on Sakura Gakuen? Still some good happy songs left for you. I'm not actually giving up on Sakura Gakuen. Good point. Thank you for mentioning that. Actually, the main reason I haven't listened to much Sakura Gakuen lately is because I've been gearing up so much, first of all, for when I was trying to complete all of the Baby Metal songs. And then after that, now I've been gearing up towards doing the Baby Metal top 10. I kind of have just been so focused on that has been my area for, if you like, that posse, that I haven't really been getting into picking up new songs from the whole Sakura Gakuen stable of artists, if you like. But it is something, as I pointed out, when I've got the top 10 maybe out of the way and when I'm focusing more on Metal Galaxy, I'll be doing Metal Galaxy alongside also going further back into Baby Metal history. I got to give them some great links actually to like audition tapes and things that Sue Metal did, like even like pre-Karen Girls. And I think that was actually one of them was between Karen Girls and Sakura Gakuen. But there's some really interesting stuff to check out on there. So I will be going back to have a little look at more stuff. But I think that's kind of just being... also, I'm using this opportunity to cram up on some new artists because obviously, as we're so up to date on Baby Metal, I want to get some other artists in who we can listen to from afresh. You know, stuff like like I said, there's been a lot of demand for Perfume more recently. It was very slow demand at first, but people are really getting into the hearing reactions. I think there's not many genuine, honest reviews of Perfume around. I think because they're a pop group, they don't get many good analytical reviews, but they've. I noticed even the old Perfume videos I've done have now started getting a lot of views, like more recently than they had when they first came out. It's not a demand for that. But that isn't to say that I'm abandoning the artists who obviously we've been doing regularly on the channel. It's just there's less Baby Metal to get into. So I'm focusing on the top 10. Bandmade, obviously, I'm going to be doing the listen throughs with them before I get to their top, whatever, 1 million. So... Pink Fluffy Pentagram orchestral version. Oh, by the way, thank you 1362 for the comment. But yes, Lejean, orchestral version would be fantastic. I don't know how that would go, but I'm pretty sure we could call it the Pink Fluffy Pentagram movements, the Pink Fluffy Sonata. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I agree. Shaman Porantan. That's a hard one to say. Shaman Porantan and Clambon. I think that's on the list. Lenny, actually, you've got... I will point out, Lenny, thank you. You've given me a lot of suggestions. You've got a lot of links on the list. So apologies, Lenny. A lot of yours are going to take quite a while to come to because you've suggested a lot of songs that I am coming up to suggest. So there's going to be a bit of a backlog on your suggestions, Lenny. My apologies for that, but they are all coming in the future. Yay! Pink Fluffy Pentagram, Norwegian tech melodic grindcore death goat killing remix. When you say death goat killing remix, I guarantee there's a subgenre of noise music called that goat killing genre. Yeah, there's that one version of noise music where just people just scream, and that's apparently an album. And I don't mean in like a screamo metal way. They just scream. It's creepy. Please let me know if you see the link I post next, please. I didn't see it, actually. More Peggy's coming. Peggy's coming either tomorrow or the day after. Let me just quickly check. You timed that question well. Yeah, I did another Peggy's one that is coming up. I want to get into a bit more of the Peggy's, but they were one of the artists who I was just trying to sort of get a first listen into. So usually the second listen is the one that takes the most time. When is the Peggy's one coming? I've got it lined up for Tuesday. So Peggy's review, if everything's coming out in the right order and nothing gets delayed, then the Peggy's one should be on Tuesday. I won't ruin it by telling you which one it is, but there's going to be a couple more Peggy's coming in the not too distant future. I really enjoyed the first song, and the second song certainly gave me something interesting to listen to, and I enjoyed that a lot as well. But a lot more comments on the second one, I think. But where are we going with this? I can't top that CMC. What would? Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to top a Norwegian tech melodic grindcore death goat killing remix. But you give yourself a week. Come back and top that next week. All right, Lejean. YouTube is deleting my links. Lenny, I wish I knew what was going on with this, man. Like I say, we talked about that thing before where you have to set it up on both ends, but I think you tried that and it didn't really do you any favors, did it? So as usual, well, you guys know I posted I posted my email. I'm just going to do that again. The backerreview@gmail.com. All right, guys, if you're, like I said, it's a bit of a struggle, but if you're having trouble posting links to me, pop them in an email to our channel email address that comes with the YouTube, and that's something we can do. Is on Takuma Japan channel. Yeah, Lenny, like I say, if you can drop me a link, I really appreciate that. Top chat or live chat? Unfortunately, I don't. It doesn't get that option anymore. It has live chat and popular. Oh no, pop out chat. The options are not the same today. It's like they've changed the format totally. There's no way of changing it. It's just stuck on live chat, and I can't do anything about it. I don't know what's going on with this, man. I appreciate it's difficult, and I really apologize. Honestly, I really hate this system because to me, all I want to do is I just want to have like a conversation with you guys. If you send something to me, I should see it. I don't know why YouTube are sticking their nose in where it's not wanted and controlling things that I don't want controlled. This is a chat between me and you guys, and YouTube, frankly, for the want of a better word, just stay the fuck out of it. So I really apologize. I don't have the necessary controls to change it. It's stuck in live chat, and there's absolutely no drop down or change like there was last week. So CMC, I don't. All right, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think links are going to come through. I haven't got any links arrive in this chat, and like I say, I can't change the chat mode. So again, look, I'm really sorry. You can post it on. You can post comments on videos or send them to that email address. I'm really sorry. I was trying to chat with the YouTube admins or whatever they call the people who help. I was trying to chat with them to try and find an answer. And if anything, this week it's actually got worse. I've got less controls on my live chat. So I do apologize. I have no control over whatever stupid nonsense these morons are committing. So let's have a look. Oh, Purple Heart. Hello, sir. Welcome back. Nice to see you. This is about the time you usually join. You've got a very regimented schedule, I believe. Yeah, guys, like I say, but I think it's YouTube just hanging. No, Lenny, it's I don't think it's you. I think it's actually my end. Like I say, I've got no control over anything like I usually do. I've done all the same things I do every week, and yet I've got no controls over the chat format. So I think it's actually all screwed up on this side. And I'm putting the blame square at the door of YouTube because I've done everything the same, and just the option to change the chat format is not there anymore. So absolutely ridiculous. Not really anything I can do about it, though, I'm afraid. So yeah, like I say, guys, please send maybe write down the links on a notepad, maybe, and then send them all in an email to me at the end or something like that. Yeah. My links show up but are not clickable. Yeah. YouTube overlords control. Damn right, Purple. That's what's happening. Guys, like I say, I really appreciate it, but you're not going to get any links on this chat. I don't think. No one succeeded so much. So have you missed much? I'll do a quick recap. This is the third time, but obviously I appreciate people to come and go, so I should cover the main points a couple of times. So let's just do that quickly. Purple, yes. I have got access thanks to Harrow being the most generous person on earth. I've got access to delicately does it. The Bandmade collection. Back in the bubble wrap. So I will, so yeah, I'll be listening through to Bandmaid's all of their CDs, track by tracks. We'll be doing track by tracks of other artists, including Silent Siren. We will be checking out more videos. James is back in the fray. Like I say, his most recent video that I think is the last one on the channel, his Made Dreamy one, check it out. It's the first video that he's edited. He's doing a fantastic job. Please show him a little bit of support on that. I'm still leaving my stupid comments all over his videos and ruining them, but it's really great that he's doing that. So please get in there and support him with those as well. I know a couple of you guys have already done. That's fantastic. Also, we'll be doing our normal thing, catching up on more videos. The the Baby Metal Top 10 is coming next weekend in 2 parts. Tracks 10 to 6 on Saturday, tracks 5 to 1 on Sunday. Also, like I say, Bubbles is taking a short hiatus. He's got some personal he's got quite a few things to clear out the way. So I just said to him, look, take your time, mate. He's he loves doing this, and I just want him to enjoy it. So I said, it's fine, take your time. And then when he comes back, hopefully we'll be having an explosion of crazy Bubble videos. And I'm just going to give him all the songs that annoy him most of all. So a lot of things coming up there. And yeah, so quite a few things to join in. Did anything I missed out on, guys? Anything I didn't mention this time that I mentioned the last 2 times? Let's see where we've gone with this since I started waffling. But corrupted by the evil algorithm must be a rescue theme. Oh, Lejean. Just when it comes to YouTube or anything controlled by Google or Apple, it just seems anything that's run by Google or Apple seems to be inherently crap. I hate to say it. It's it just sounds like I'm being deliberately like a deliberate naysayer, but all of these things are rubbish. Google Maps doesn't work properly, does not work properly. Apple Maps tells you there's a restaurant in a river. Apple stuff, all expensive, isn't compatible with anything else. Google stuff, all corrupted, all goes wrong. All of the options get changed without your say so. Just Google and Apple can't get their shit together. That's the problem, and we're seeing it right now in live chat for no reason. I just want to talk to people. Why are my messages being controlled? If you're watching me, Google, that's for you. Of course you're not. CMC missed the pink fluffy pentagram versions. Oh, variations. Oh, yes. No, the pink fluffy pentagram variations will come after the band has actually formed and debuted. It will happen. It's amazing. Yeah, no, that's a great. Obviously, the CD collection is fantastic. I'm holding someone else's CD collections in my hand is the most terrifying thing in the world. As I was saying earlier, it's like holding someone's baby. It's terror. Jean, there hasn't been any since your last suggestion. Don't worry though. I'll top you on next stream, maybe. Sorry, I'm yeah, I think that's another car. I look forward to Discord server. I haven't used Discord yet. I probably should get on with it. I'm still setting up like a Patreon. So I need to get there. Discord is voice only, isn't it? Oh, is it? I don't know much about Discord. I know it's very popular at the moment. I'm slowly sort of expanding everything. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty much all the channel admin is me. All the social media stuff. I'm trying to get more on the social media, but that's after I set up this new system. I'll also mention Purple. There is I can't tell you anything about it, but there's a really big additional program coming to the channel soon that I've been spending the last couple of weeks working on setting up, and it's going to be quite big. And when it debuts, if it works, you guys will be able to really get involved and maybe even be able to take part in doing some fun stuff with the channel as well. But it's kind of a fun project, which is going to really give people a chance to look at their favorite songs in a very different way. But I can't give anything away about that, but there is some great stuff coming on the channel. We've got a lot of ambitious stuff coming up. Lejean, that would be cool. Discord, don't use it, but what would give me a reason to? Fair point. I got my copy. Oh, you've got Just Bring It. You know what? I was looking through the track list on all the before I listened to it. I was looking through the track list on all the other Bandmaid albums, and there's some great songs. I already know some great songs on them, but I did notice that a lot of my favorites were missing, and therefore almost definitely a lot of my favorites are on Just Bring It. So I am really looking forward to hearing that. Yes, we need to arrange meeting up soon. Really great, actually really great to meet you the first time. You know what? Oh, this is going to become a sponsorship thing. So if you've ever met anyone from the internet before, a lot of the time you don't know how to recognize them. It's like, who am I looking for? The best technique I've ever seen is to walk into the room with your picture. That's brilliant. So this is my number one CD sponsor. Do you know what? I'm going to start videos with this. So, welcome, sponsored by. And I now know that it's a bear hat. I thought it was like one of those cat bread pictures because I've got bad eyesight, but it's a bear hat. That's fantastic. That's brilliant. It's like when you go into an airport, except instead of a name, it's a profile picture. That's actually genuinely one of the funniest things I've seen. Absolutely brilliant. So let's have a look and see what we've got coming on in the comments here. Yeah, so definitely, Harry, I will get in contact with you though, and we'll try and arrange that meetup. I have done most of what needs to be done with the CDs thus far, so I'll be able to exchange them safely back into your hands and switch over as soon as possible, just so I can stop having a heart attack every time I look at that bag and go, "Don't touch it." No, text and voice. Oh, this is Discord. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, a voice only thing would be quite good. Bubbles, before he's had this break, he was talking to me about, as well as me doing the Saturday live things, he was talking about maybe him and I should do a podcast, and we can occasionally bring James on it when he's got time. We just do a chatting podcast where you guys can check it out like a radio channel occasionally. Because sometimes me and him just like have phone calls and we just sit chatting on the phone for like a couple of hours, just talking total nonsense, but doing it open so you guys can enjoy it as well. So maybe Discord would be a good place for that, and we can have some of these sort of missing conversations can take place there. This live chat will be more specifically about what we're doing on the channel and Japan and various things, but now it'd be great to mix that all in. Just Bring It, such a good album. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. We can always go back to Usenet. Let's not do that. Lenny, can't tell you, is Japanese, done some TV themes a while back. They blew up in China with some dance tracks. Really interesting. They are a duo, sort of like KP Perfume somewhere ago. Is kind of ringing bells. Like I said, I get the feeling I have been introduced to them maybe while I was drunk or at a party or something. Don't tell me too much about them, because I really appreciate that, but I like to have my first reaction. Even though, like I say, I might well have heard them before. I think I have. My first reaction, I like to be as uninformed as possible. So thanks for giving the information, but hold on to that information until after I've heard the first song, given my uninformed opinions, and then throw some more information at me. Also, what is the status re Mutant Monster and Glim Spanky? Well, the Glim Spanky video already went up, the first one. There'll be more Glim Spanky soon. Did you not see that? Sorry if you didn't see the Glim Spanky one. Mutant Monster is in there. Mutant Monster was a little bit further back in the list. Let me just see. Actually, I can't see where it is. I'm going to type it in again. I hope it's in the list. Yeah, Mutant Monster was mentioned a couple of times. I got a lot of people talking about Glim Spanky, so I pushed that one really fast into production, I guess. So, yeah, I want to do more Glim Spanky as well. I know there's another song which is very different from the same studio performance, so I need to come back to that. Actually, let me just quickly make a note of that. I closed the notepad again. How many times do I have to say this to myself? Stop closing the damn notepad every time you write something in it. You don't just type and then close it every single time. More Glim Spanky. Everything with that band's name in sounds weird. Where we go. Purple, I was going to ask if you do start a Patreon, if we could donate for possible albums to be reviewed. That's a really good suggestion. That's really good because, like I say, I mean, you guys know one of my biggest worries. I've got some ideas of things that I want to offer you guys in exchange for your subscriptions, because I don't just want it to be a money farm. I want you guys to actually get something from it, even though I know I've had some wonderful comments from people saying, don't worry, we just want to support the channel. You know, just for my own conscience, like I say, I do believe that if you're going to be involved in the channel, you should benefit in some way. And as there's so little I can do to give you guys much in the way of any creative input, because we're so overloaded with suggestions, I've been thinking of the little things that we can do, which are really great. But that's a fantastic idea, like you say, because the those reviews, the sort of audio only album reviews, are very easy to put out. They're very easy to record. Like I said, I did 14 reaction videos today. And that's because I covered the whole of Silent Siren's S album. Really interesting album. Like I say, not for everyone, but I hope you guys check out the track-by-track reactions. There's some really interesting stuff on there, just for muso lovers, music lovers, musos, muso lovers, people who love music. But yeah, that's a really good suggestion, actually. I would say that's a good one. I would have to do a little bit of research to see how much the albums cost, because I'm assuming that what you're saying is that the money you donate will partly go towards buying the album. But I think you can kind of get anything for 2,000 yen. That's not cheap, though, actually, is it? CDs are not very cheap here. But then again, I guess there are albums that I can obtain other ways. I think I would have to do a bit of research on how to make that both financially work and also, something that works. But no, that's a really good suggestion, actually, Purple. Thank you so much for that. But at the same time, I don't want you to feel pressured into doing stuff. No, really, that's fine. I mean, all I would just ask people to do is accept that if I'm reviewing an album, like I say, it's all about honesty. And albums are a difficult thing to review. There's very few albums in the world where you can sit through it and say, okay, every track's great. And by the same token, you can sometimes have albums where every track's great, but you say, but the flow of the album kind of sucked. So long as people understand that if they're sponsoring me to do an album, they're sponsoring me to be honest about that album. I might come out saying things that they don't like, then that's fair enough. But yeah, no, I think it would be... I think it would be a really good idea. Like I say, I think on the Patreon, I'll have to put the caveat of please be aware that you're sponsoring an honest opinion. Because I know sometimes people might suggest like a whole CD by a band that I know might push my taste a bit. And if they're happy to see my taste pushed, that's great. I just worry that people like say, oh, listen to this album, and they come out saying, it's all right. And they go, oh, I paid you to listen to that, you bastard. Anyway, Just Bring It is my favorite CD by BM. Harry, I haven't even heard it yet, and I get the feeling I'm probably going to agree with you, but looks like a lot of people agree. Also, it was one that they wrote by themselves. Also, a couple of the albums were written for them, so that's fantastic. CMC, I did see it. I'm sorry if you commented, and sometimes I forget who comments on what, but I'm glad you saw that. Yeah, there is more Glenn Spanky coming. It might have even been you, actually, who told me there's another song from the same session. It's really good, but I think World Domination just shades it for me. I am interested. Don't give anything away for me about the tone of the album. I don't want anything to ruin it, because it's going to be quite a long listen through. I'm going to listen to all the tracks, but I am interested to see if because World Domination, the only problem was, in a way, it's great that it's really sort of full on, but it would be nice if there was a little bit more color and variation to it. It did feel like they sort of pumped out a hard rock album, did a great job, but I'd like to see how Just Bring It actually compares to that. Lejean, question about the Baby Metal top 10. Are there any Sue Solo or Black Baby Metal songs in the top 5? Lejean, I like you. Don't ask me questions you know I'm not going to answer. There might be. That's the best you're getting from me. I'm not going to ruin it, man. I've been building up to this for so long. I'm not going to ruin it. I love that the tension's there, but I'm not going to tell you anything about that. But let's put it this way. I certainly have not discounted. Actually, I've already made the top 10, but I certainly did not discount any of their songs. So it's quite possible that they are there. Clifton, hello, Clifton. Wait, we get stuff in exchange for subscriptions. That's a new one. I thought it was just to know when you post. Oh, we were talking about the Patreon. Sorry, I don't know if you caught that or not. When we're talking about Patreon, that's the thing where it's like subscribing and paying donations to the channel. Sort of through a third-party site, but the site's connected directly to YouTube. Very popular. Sorry if you already know about this, but just explaining it in case you don't. It's a very commonly used system now because YouTube pays basically sod all money, and I don't blame them really for the case of what I'm doing. But if people are enjoying it and they want to support me, it really does help, especially if it gives me ability to do extra things for you. We did talk about like things like going to concerts on your behalf and doing interviews, but we'll come into that later. Anyway, Lejean, early access to videos as a reward. If I was able to be more reliable in when I upload them, I would. I will look into that though. There might be certain videos like event videos, like bigger videos, like the top tens and things that I might be able to do that with, but I'll give that some thought. But everything tends to be done very sort of last minute. I'm trying to get ahead of things more, but obviously as we're upping the output, that might be a bit difficult. I'll see about that though, definitely. I'm losing some of them off the top of the chat. Sorry. Agreed. Even my favorite albums have tracks I'm not very keen on. Yeah, I think that's normal. I was actually talking the other day, I think I mentioned it in the last live chat. The Dandy Warhol's album, 13 Tales of from Urban Bohemia or something. As a general, most of the tracks on there don't stand up on their own, but if you listen to it from start to end, it's one of the best complete albums I've ever heard. It just works fantastically as an overall journey. So you got like, it can work both ways. I'm a real album listener. I know some people aren't. I do occasionally just put playlists of songs I really like in a certain mood, but you know, it's one thing to pick songs that suit your mood. It's another thing to pick music that's so good it can shape your mood. That's actually quite an interesting point. I probably haven't covered on this channel before. But you know, there's some songs you can be in one mood and then you listen to the song and it's powerful enough it shapes your mood. You know, you can be down and you listen to the song and it cheers you up, rather than being down and listening to like an angry song to complement your mood. That's a real powerful thing. And so sometimes you can have that. There's many different ways of doing it. But anyway, that's the point. Albums you can sit through and say it's great. Fleetwood Mac, Rumours pops to mind. Yeah, do you know what? I haven't sat and listened to that through since I was a teenager, actually. But I know that is generally held in very high regard, and I probably should just go and listen to that for my own pleasure. Right, yeah, I'd rather you do individual song and performance, and then a whole album. Keep I'd rather you do individual songs and performances. Do you mean then do a whole album, or and then do a whole album? Because you say keep focused. So do you mean? I'll read the rest of the comments, but basically I'm just wondering whether you're saying you'd prefer me not to do the album reviews or whether you'd prefer me to do them both just for their individual qualities. Harold, WD album is really good. Oh, World Domination, and I like it. But as in Howard's review, too hard for unless I'm in a given. Yeah. I think we've all echoed that opinion, but it's nice to hear that everyone's kind of on the same page as that. Because, like I say, when you say that to some hard rock fans, especially metalers, they'll be like, "Oh no, I wouldn't want any music if it wasn't hard." And I understand on a track by track basis why you'd want a totally hard selection of songs, but some of the best like reliefs in that album were the bits where it broke down. It's just like, oh, this is good, because that quiet makes the storm all the more impressive. Purple Heart, it would be I would be interested if you can tell which was written by a bandmate or written for them, or do you already know which album have been written by whom? That's a good point. I know, I don't know specifically. I can't say this album was written for them, this album wasn't, but I know at least their first two, possibly the first three. I guess it would be hard for me to get too much of a genuine reaction out of that, because even if I don't know exactly, I have a fairly good idea of where the line was, where they took over their own writing. And the other thing is, I hate to say it, but well, I don't hate to say it actually. Their writing has excelled way beyond that their staff writers offered. And although no discredit to the staff writers, they had some great written songs before, but although they did do fantastic songs, and although they do now have a bit more of a formulaic approach, their songs now are just they click better. There's more of a sort of whole sound to it. So I think I would, even though I don't know specifically which album they switched over to writing their own songs, I think I would be able to tell, to be fair, after like one or two songs, it would probably be quite clear. But we'll see. I'll try and mention that as we go. Lejean, why not? I need juicy info on the top 10. Oh, Lejean. You're like a interrogator. Yeah, so we were playing good cop. Now we're playing bad cop. I'm gonna like smack my head against the desk until I tell you. No, I'm not going to tell you. Clifton, I missed that part. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Patreon, whatever the hell people are calling it. It's like a massive thing. A lot of YouTubers are using it. I don't want to come across as pretentious. And like I say, we're not doing this for the money, but it's an avenue where people have mentioned to it. I want to explore it, and if I can offer you guys something you genuinely want, maybe Lejean, maybe on the next top 10, maybe if I've got it running before next weekend, then maybe that'll be a special Lejeune offer. When you sign up, I'll tell you whether there's a Black Baby Metal song or a Sue only song in there. You know what, Lejeune? I'm just going to be honest with you, Lejeune. I think you can already guess the answer. I think you already know the answer to the question. I think you're asking because you already know. I'm not going to tell you what's at number 1, though. I'm not going to tell you what's in the top 5. CMC Harrow, and just bring it doesn't have One and Only on it. So you really hate that song, don't you? You hate the breakdown. I'm gonna have to go back and check that out. I didn't really, it didn't stand out to me in the way it stood out to you. So I'm gonna go back and see if I can work out why you dislike that one so much. The song had so much in it that it didn't really stick so much with me. Oh, sorry, there's so many comments that I've missed here. Sorry, I'm going to scroll down. Apologies if I was talking in complete ignorance of what you said. It's because I scrolled up and then you lose the automatic scroll down thing. Lejeune, fine. If not that question, is there one song that was not even close to getting a spot in the top 10? Oh, do you mean were there some songs where I was just like, this isn't going in? Like just some songs where I automatically picked it up and went, nope. Oh, actually, you know what? One of the first ones that I just went no was actually, surprisingly, it wasn't because it was a bad song. It was just because I automatically knew that there were other songs that did the same job better. And that was Headbanger. I'm willing to say Headbanger's not in the top 10 because I listened to it and I was like, okay, but there's so many other Baby Metal songs that do this better. So that's the one I'll give you. Headbanger's not in that top 10. If everyone was hoping for that to be in the top 5 and now no one's going to watch the top 10 because of you, Lejeune, I'm going to be very upset. Clifton, rather see you do review on single song than the whole album is what I meant. Okay, cool. Some albums have songs I just skip over and wish they weren't there. Detracts from the whole experience. Skip to the good stuff. I think we only got so much time. I think because the thumbnail I use for the album listen throughs is very different. Even like with World Domination, the singles will still be put up as a reaction to the music video. So you'll be able to tell if it's a single or not. And I use a different type of thumbnail for different ones. I still want to do the album listen throughs because, like I say, I am an album person. I do tend to find that some of my favorite songs are not the singles. And also I do think that there is a quality that some people enjoy, maybe not everyone, but some people enjoy, which is just listening through a whole album. There's also some people who I know who maybe might massively into a band who their favorite song by that band, they maybe never get to see it live because it's an album track or, you know, no one ever talks about it. And so they're probably like, you know, they probably feel like a little bit left out. So again, it's nice when I cover the whole album. Sometimes people go, oh yeah, I really loved that song, but no one ever talks about it. So I am still going to do the album reviews, but I will try and do them in a style where it keeps them clear so you can see from the thumbnails which ones are and which ones aren't, which I think I've done a decent job at so far. The ones with the diagonal line are usually the video reviews. The ones with the album cover are usually not. Well, actually pretty much always are not. Lenny, but put up your wanted list of CDs you want. I will trade you anything I can find for you in US or DVD of Funashi at Budokan. Woo, okay. All right, okay, we've got a deal on that. I'll have to do a bit of looking, but we'll have to go on there. Seems like go on spoiler comments. The breakdown is like nails down a blackboard. Audio equivalent of the nights that you say need. Oh, are these separate ones? Are we talking about the breakdown from One and Only? And go on spoiler comments. It's the spoiler comments bit that I maybe missed. Are you talking about me mentioning Headbanger? Apologies if I've gone and upset everyone with that. Catch Me If You Can didn't impress you. I'm not going to tell you anything. You don't know. It might have impressed me more after a few more listens. Dean, stop trying to get up. Why are you all pressuring me for answers? Is Visual K Japanese? As far as I'm aware, and from what I've been told, it is Japanese Purple Heart. The name kind of lends itself to that being that, but I was given a good description. I think it was actually Dean who told me where Visual K came from, which was quite interesting. Actually, I agree. Headbanger isn't in my top 10 either. Can I share my list? Yeah, Lejeune, you can share your list. I mean, I'll just tell you guys now, I've already done my list. I'm publishing it next weekend, just in case you weren't here when I said that. Saturday will be 10 till 6, numbers 10 till 6, and then Sunday will be number 5 to number 1. So you're not going to sway my opinion, so I'd just be really interested to hear yours. Obviously, I can't give any comment on your top 10 because it might give away what's in mine. Give spoiler warning. Oh, come on, at least give spoiler warning. You guys already knew what I thought of Headbanger. Sean, Visual K is a subgenre of J-rock, and that's how I see it. At least it's kind of one of the things that's as much of a style as it is a style as anything else. Let's have a look here. And can we have the Bon Tempi organ intro you used for the South Korean videos permanently, please? Oh, do you prefer that intro? Do you guys prefer the Korean intro? Is it? I think, wow, how goes for the best. Do you guys actually like that one? That was just I just sat there and I took like just took a MIDI keyboard, tapped it in, quantized it, and then just thought, let's pull out some weird, just ethnic instruments from all over the world. Let's put that in there, that in there, that in there. Done. There you go. There's an intro. Not even. Do you guys actually prefer the intro for the South Korean one? And what do you guys think of the weird chiptune one I did for James? James has a chiptune intro, like all 8-bit Game Boy sounds. The South Korean ones have like a mishmash of various instrumental VSTs, and the normal backer breakdown one is just like, just simply played on like band and instrumental ones. Yeah, the Bon Tempi intro was awesome. That's curious. That's very curious. Let me find that. This is weird. I wasn't expecting anyone to actually like that intro. I was actually worried it was a bit annoying. I'm just going to quickly find it. I'm going to have a little listen. I mean, they're all the same tune. It's just like a slight change on the idea. Here we go. Oh, cool. I've got it as a WAV file as well. It's 1 megabyte. What a massive intro that was. Pop that on VLC. Have a little listen. That's the one. Oh, no. Maybe you guys can hear it. Maybe you guys can't. I'm just going to put the speaker there. Was it that one? Let me do that one more time. Oh, no. I can't believe people actually like that intro. Even non-sequitur question. Did you listen to the Mongolian singer and Latvian pipers? No, because it's on my list. I've kind of like pegged that in for the world tour videos because I just like the sound of it so much. I'm trying to not think about it so I don't get tempted. I'm kind of sitting on it because I want to come back to that. It just sounds so amazing that I can't imagine doing that and not reacting. Maybe I should just do it as a reaction and then save that video. I don't know, but yeah, definitely that one I'm majorly looking forward to, actually. It was that NAF DJ at the Wednesday Night Disco feel that just fits. Hey, are you saying tonally that's what you expect from us? Is the NAF DJ vibe? Terrifying. Visual K is Japanese and written as Bichuar. Where K means group or lineage. Okay. So like, yeah, I guess if you're talking about groups and lineage, then you are kind of talking about a style or it's almost like that kind of refers to a fashion if you think about it. So that does make sense. Like the visual style, the visual fashion, it's all about the look. Interesting. Yeah, thank you for that. I didn't actually know. I didn't know what K meant. I certainly had no idea what the kanji was going to be. Are you going to listen to some Versailles or Jupiter? I don't think the world tour is going to be going to Jupiter, but maybe to France. Worst joke ever. Might do. Let's put them in the list. All right. Yeah, there is one thing I haven't mentioned actually. So we need to talk about the next World Tour Wednesday. If you've been on If you've been on this channel and if you were in the last live chat, you'll know where we're going. If you've even seen a map, you'll know where the next World Tour Wednesday is landing. Let's just before I mention that, any plans to continue listening to X Japan? Good point, Ashley. Yeah, why have I not picked up on more X Japan? My apologies, actually, because some people mentioned that. I didn't get as many comments and reactions to that as I actually expected. But I should actually be listening to more of them because they have got a lot of fans, a lot of supporters, and it's a good band to get into as one of the more popular ones. Link them up. Anyway, yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Lejean. Much appreciated. So does any so Shibuya K have anything to do with jazz? I'll show you. Shoya, I want to as well. I didn't get a huge feedback from that. I was kind of interested in them as a group. Actually, I'm kind of thinking of them in a similar manner to sort of the Aldius thing. There were some people who were really interested, but I didn't get as many responses as I wanted to. So I'm going to come back to them, but I'm not sure exactly how quickly that will be. I appreciate your... Oh, thank you, Cookie. I appreciate your humor and reviews. I really only listen to a few specific bands and get so biased about them. The singer can pretty much sit there and eat pop rocks, and I look at her like it's the funniest, most interesting thing in the world. You keep me level. Yeah, it's sometimes it's really hard for me to keep level, because there's some things they just appeal to you and you just you get really into them. But I the whole thing I try and do, I think the biggest effort of doing all of this is when I listen to them, trying to get overly excited about things I really love, because I'm trying to give like fair comments. But I always say, I say, look, I'm loving this. It's just appealing to me, so I'm biased. I always try to be honest about when I'm biased. But yeah, no, like I say, I love those comments, man. If you're appreciating it, then it's great. That's all I want to do. I just want to be able to start these good conversations and be able to say things that people actually appreciate hearing and maybe give a little bit of perspective. We don't have to agree. Certainly, when it comes to music, no one's right. It's all down to opinions. So thank you. If you're enjoying it, good. People actually want to hear me speak, then that's nice. Dean, are you going to listen to Shonen Knife? Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. I've started the Kawaii Rock Movement in '83 yeah, you guys have probably all seen my Shonen Knife t-shirt. You guys probably have all seen the photographs of me with Shonen Knife. You guys probably all know that I like Shonen Knife and I'm very familiar with them. But you guys are probably also aware that I did one video at the beginning of this channel, kind of really going back in the channel, where I listened to a Shonen Knife song with James, and that was one of the ones off the radio show. Didn't get many views. I've kind of been a bit tentative about going back to it because there's not many songs they have that I haven't already heard, so I'd have to dive into something a little bit more unknown, and it might just no one might watch it. So I'm thinking about that. But yeah, I mean I really love Shonen Knife and they're great to listen to. We'll see. Hopefully, maybe if they've got some new stuff, I haven't checked on their current progress, but I think they've got something new that they're working on at the moment. And if they are, that might be a good excuse to jump back in on that. So thanks for mentioning that. Lenny, search for J Music Ensemble. Yeah, J Music Ensemble, that's coming up as well. That's on the list. Also, how about Loudness Reaction? Also, I just released a new album. All right, let me just quickly put down a couple of things. So, Shonen. Shonen Knife 712 has a rap song on it. Started genre mixing, really. Okay. I'll make a little note of that. Oh yeah, and yeah, J Music Ensemble's coming, but I want to do a few of those because when I was going through their YouTube channel, I was kind of surprised at how much stuff they had. So I'll do a couple of them actually, hopefully in the next month or so. Well, since watching your videos, I've learned about hooks and bridges, and so they also educational. Thanks, Purple. Yeah, I tried to use simple terminology because no one wants to listen to a bore. And even I get bored talking about technical stuff too much unless it's really relevant. So I tried to talk about the song in simple sections, the verse, the pre-chorus, the chorus, the bridge, keep it to that. Try not to get too boring. So, if it's coming across, if it's making the point about getting irritating, that's fantastic. Pretty Little Backer Boy and Burning Farm are good albums. I forgot there was an album about me. Let's copy that in. There you go. Okay, where are we going with this? Shibuya K, where Shibuya is a name of famous city in Tokyo, just means Shibuya style. Yeah, I would imagine so. Because like K in the context that you were saying it, kind of it like means style, like you say when you talk about lineage, it's like a fashion of style. Dropped an album last month. They dropped an album last month. All right. Definitely. All right. Let's put a new album. I'll write that alongside the notes. Would you do a video on Lindsey Sterling, US artist I follow? I love the artist with a strong visual element. Okay, look, I'm going to put that down. Obviously, that's going to be one that's going to come into the world tour territory. Now, the only thing is we did kind of say that we're not really going to touch on the more well-known countries like America or the UK, but I am willing to listen to anything. So I might just sort of do a Lindsey Sterling reaction in my own time, and then just sort of hold that. I can maybe just share that with you, share my thoughts with you on that one. I don't really know in the context of what we're doing at the current moment whether I'd be able to post that in the channel, but it might be something we come around to later as the world tour aspect keeps on moving. Shown a Knife, that is. Yeah, cheers, Dean. Yeah, I kind of figured that we were talking about Shown a Knife in that one, but that's really great. I knew they were working on something. I didn't know they just dropped an album last month. That's really brilliant. I'll take a look. Brilliant. I heard Pizzicato 5 described as I heard Pizzicato 5 described as Shibuya gay. I guess if they're from Shibuya and that's a style, then that will that will be appropriate. Strangely, given all the different genres I have heard from Japan, have not heard much of any blues or blues rock. Really, is that something not a thing in Japan? Well, it's interesting because obviously you're aware of Glim Spanky, and Glim Spanky I would put in that sort of, from the one song I've heard, seem to have a blues rock thing. I think you can get some. I don't think it's something which is a big. I don't think it's something which is a huge genre here, but I mean, one of the things I love about Japan is that almost every genre exists in some capacity here. There's no style of music that you cannot get in Japan, which is one of the most amazing things about it. Lindsey Sterling, violinist. Lizzie Howe. Oh wow! Okay, so we've got some Lindsey Sterling fans out there. Okay, I might have to pop something in. I might have to do just like an extra channel of Howard does stuff in his spare time. Howard did just do a blues rock breakdown. I think Drops is blues rock. Good point, Lenny. It is actually. I need to touch on a bit more Drops. That was an interesting one. Let me pop that in there. No one's really mentioned them too much since the initial one. I closed the links notepad again. God damn it. But yeah, let's put in a little bit more of Drops. I think I'll come back to them because there were some links that were given to me off the back of that first video. That was one of the videos I did when I didn't have a computer, so that's probably why it's I've kind of overlooked coming back to it. I would say Glim Spanky is more country rock, closer to the Eagles and blues rock. Yeah, I get that. I think it's the inclusion of the I think it's a mixture of the vocal style and the little Hammond organ, gospel organ thing going in the background kind of makes me think blues. But yeah, no, point well taken. Vanessa May, we're going really off onto the violinist chart here. Yes, Lindsey Sterling, it's interesting. She's not classically trained, not the greatest violinist, but dancing while playing and the visual element is dramatic. Shatmy is her best work. I'll write that down. I mean, yeah, I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million times more if necessary. I don't think being the best musician really means very much. I mean, there's a million and one amazing musicians out there, and even being a great performer is not the most difficult thing. It's about having something to deliver. It's about having a song that you can really get your feeling from and stuff like that. It's about having like a package that works. And it sounds to me like that's what you're describing there. She's just got like a style, something that works for her. Dean, Judy and Mary did some bluesy. Yeah, Judy and Mary were massive, weren't they? They still, they could still book out a stadium if they wanted to, I think. That's a massive name, though, in Japanese music, Judy and Mary, and they had some bluesy things on occasion. Well said. Cinematic's amazing. Also, Master of Tides is all Lindsay. All Lindsay. So all Lindsay playing with no singing. So she doesn't sing on any of her songs. She is the violinist first and foremost. I'll check that out. I have the link on Drop's song, then channeling their inner Joan Jets. Okay, Lenny, don't worry. Like I said, I'll be coming back to that. Apologies about the fact that so much stuff is delayed, but I'll be coming back round to it, definitely. Mexico, an amazing running seahorse, and Argentina. You did mention those two before. I recognize those two names. We are coming around to them. Don't worry. Keep them in your head. They will be coming when we eventually get to South America. Seems like we might be taking a tour through the US just to pick up on our dear friend Lindsay here. Purple Heart. Actually, maybe that's the thing. Maybe we'll go to the US and the UK, but we'll deliberately avoid the artists that anyone has really heard of in popular culture, just because it's so annoying. I am not going to react to a Beyonce song because there's no financial benefit in me throwing my laptop through a window. So, where are we going with this? Drops you. I love that video you covered. That reminds me, new song. Look up more. Her voice is amazing. Yeah, absolutely agree. Purple. Glad as well. I love when it's one of my favorite things. I guess the two things I really love from this channel is when people say that when people get something from what I say, that's fantastic, and when people say they get a new artist who they've enjoyed through the channel, that's also fantastic. I really love that. And I love, especially with people like Lenny, I love when people just drop an honest opinion. It's like, I don't like this, but I checked it out anyway. I think that's fantastic. Dean. There are a million better guitarists than Johnny Ramone, but not many had his stage presence. Yeah, well said. I think that's goes without question. I think that was the big thing of punk, and not all punk, but with some punk, it was it was the ability to take something that technically you could teach someone who's never played guitar in 5 minutes to play half the punk songs there are. But it's about delivering them. It's about being the person who had that spark to write that simple but powerful song. It's about having the energy to deliver it in that way. So yeah, no doubt. I really don't believe that being the best musician, it's like adding more color to your palette when you're painting. Not that I can paint, but just as an example. If you have more colors on your palette, there's more things you can do. But also it could potentially lead you to miss the basic good things you can do. If you've got so many things available, then sometimes you overly use them. You've got too many tools, you use them too much, and you miss the basic, pure, cool things. And that goes the other way. Obviously, if you're a simple musician, maybe you can do the simple and effective more, but you miss the ability to do the intricacies. Both sides have their benefits, but I certainly have never been a believer that the greatest musicians make the greatest music. Sorry, Running Seahorses. Yeah, I picked up on that. Don't worry, man. And like I say, I copied it down last time. You mentioned these two artists, I believe, last week. I copied that down. Just in case, I recognize the second one. Running Seahorses. I might be imagining that you mentioned that last time. Let's pop that down. Going in South America, but I'm using an Australian accent. Don't know why. Judy Mary, one of my favorite bands. Yuki is one of my favorite frontmen. People should listen to if you don't know them. Yeah, I think I just kind of agree. People check out. If you haven't heard Judy and Mary before, check them out. I mean, just for nothing else, they have had such a huge effect on. Well, I don't know if it's an effect or just such a huge impact on the Japanese music scene. It would be kind of foolish not to listen to them. I'd rather listen to Keith Richards than Joe Satriani. Yeah, 100%. Although I do like some of his stuff. Yeah, Joe Satriani has occasionally stuff with like good sound bites in it, but I can't get through most of his songs from start to end. I think was it Joe Satriani who did Surfing with the Alien? I think that was one of his ones, and that was kind of listenable, but it was very short. It's very compact. But as a general. The one thing I always point out is you guys might, I'm assuming you have heard of that band, The Offspring. And The Offspring obviously were massive for a while. They're still around, still doing some cool stuff. But their lead guitarist is fully like admitting of the fact that he's like no lead guitarist. In fact, their rhythm guitarist is actually, it seems, more talented as a lead guitarist than their lead guitarist, which leads him to do these really simple solos. And the most notable one was the one he did in that really famous song, The Kids Aren't All Right. if you listen to that, there's virtually nothing going on in that solo. It's slower than the chord pattern for the best part, and yet it is one of the best solos ever. I absolutely love it. In this context of the song, it just works perfectly. It ramps everything up amazingly. And of course, when you look at solos like the one from Hotel California, obviously much more technical, but certainly no guitar shredder's nightmare. I think most reasonably competent guitarists could play the Hotel California solo, and yet I still maintain that probably is the greatest guitar solo of all time, and that comes at the end of the song. So yeah, say it a million times, I don't think being the best musician makes the best music. It could do, but it doesn't. It's not correlation. If you're going to the US, have you listened to Incubus? Love them. Grew up listening to them. Yeah, I kind of grew up listening to them as well, actually. They weren't one of the ones who I regularly listened to, but my best friend growing up, he listened to them a lot, so I did hear a lot of Incubus. I like a lot of the things they do. I think they're quite playful, more playful than a lot of their peers. Like I said, it wasn't one of the bands that really stuck with me so much that I listened to it a lot more after growing up. Maybe I should go back and check it out for my own interest, but interesting choice actually there. Purple Heart, to be honest, I'm not bothered about the who best guitarist or not, as long as the music has some kind of feeling. Then, little regardless how complex it is, as simple it is. Yeah, again, I agree. I think we're all kind of on the same page. It's nice to see people agreeing on such a point, which is so contentious amongst musos. You talk about this with musos, and I mean, when I was in London, I worked a lot with the music scene in Camden, which is like that's the musical heart of London, to be honest. And I worked with some great people, and I was really embedded in that scene. I had myself involved in so many things, and yet it seemed whatever scene you went to, people just had this really closed-minded approach when it came to musicianship. When it came to musicianship, it was just this whole thing about, you can't even get on stage. You're not like a grade 8 guitar shredder or something like that. It was just there was this slight arrogance towards something that had nothing to do with the actual enjoyment of music, so much as the sort of hierarchical way of musicians feeling better about themselves. Once again, like I say, being a good musician gives you access to more, but doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make better music. Lenny, when you do Russia, make video intro with the bear on unicycle. I am going to slightly shift up the intros each time if I get a chance. I've got like in the animation editor, I've got like a template. So I'm going to try and mix them up each time and make them interesting. At the point, actually, guys, before we go any further, I need to talk about the next World Tour Wednesday. Okay. Let's just quickly check. Laura Shea, suggestion of Judy from Mary. Okay, there's a lot of in talking here. So I'm just going to... is it time? Sometime jealousy about people getting more successful when they feel they're better musician. Yeah, you get that a lot. You know, oh, I'm a much better guitarist than this famous guitarist. You hear that a lot. I can't stand that. I hate that. I mean, one of the ones you hear a lot is guitarists love to slag off Eric Clapton. Now, I don't care what you think of Eric Clapton. It's totally your choice. I certainly would not say that everyone has to love what he does. But yeah, I know he's not the greatest lead guitarist, but I tell you one thing, he plays with a hell of a lot of feeling. And, you know, when you're listening to a guitarist whinge about how, Eric Clapton doesn't deserve to be that famous, you think most of you are very technically competent, but you don't have any soul when you play. I'm not saying that applies to everyone, but it's that sort of feeling that people as a general don't get, that fame is not totally about being the best musician, and maybe not even about having the best feeling. You've just got to have something that works for you. Maybe there's a style that you put across that people just find amiable. Maybe you're just a very good songwriter. Like I said, I'd rather see a good songwriter who's a bad musician than than a bad songwriter who's a good musician who's going to twiddle in my ear. Trying to keep up with notes. Going on Wednesday. Yes, Lenny, I'm just about to mention. I'm just quickly reading through the comments. What's the intro? All right, you just want to keep that song. I have no idea if you're just being like majorly sarcastic, CMC, or not, because I can't see your facial expression, but I'm getting some love for that track. They do. Oh my god, there's so many comments. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to slow you down because I need to talk about the World Tour Wednesday, and we're going off into loads of things. So if you want to talk amongst yourselves, that's fine. But I need to talk about that. Okay. Well, Lenny's on page with me. Guys. So yeah. As you guys know, if you have a map or a direction, there's only one way out of South Korea. Yeah, we're going through some North Korean political music because that's the only music they've got. I know there are some go-to things. I'm thinking I'm maybe going to do 2 or 3 videos for this World Tour Wednesday, hopefully free. I hope find enough to be interesting for free. I don't want to drag on too many political songs if they're all the same, but I'm looking to see what things there are. I know there's some really interesting things, like some attempts from North Korean music to try and modern, but get stuck in like really outdated lyrics, and some cheesy videos and some straight up political songs. I want to go in and try and some North Korean music rather than just ignoring it and stepping over it. On World Tour Wednesday, we will be just going back as well. I decided on some of the World Tour Wednesdays, if we're not going to be doing too many songs, I'll also include a couple of recaps on songs that were really asked for from previous countries. And unsurprisingly, I had a lot of feedback on South Korea. So I'm not in a huge rush on the BTS one because I've got a lot of suggestions for BTS, but I will be checking out one of Twice songs. And then maybe on the next World Tour Wednesday, when we're probably going to be going to either China or Russia, I'm still working on the map, then I might add like a BTS song as well to just recap on that. But yeah, so like I say, we'll be doing one recap on this World Tour Wednesday, but I want to try and get, if you guys can link me to 3 North Korean songs, we'll do that. All right, let's see what we've gone on to. Music from, or also about North Korea. From there's a lot of music about North Korea, but I want these to be concentrating on music produced in the countries of subject. I mean, for example, when we did that Twice song on the South Korea one, I was aware that song was done in Japanese. It occurred to me when I was listening to it, and it was clearly done for the Japanese market, but it was produced in Korea. So songs coming out of the country. Pink Fluffy Pentagram, North Korean death metal. I still maintain that if we can, I'm going to take one of these North Korean songs, I'm going to remix it to like Bandmate or Baby Metal. So I'm going to do a death metal remix of which is how we came to the Pink Fluffy Pentagram choice to begin with, wasn't it? So yeah, we're still working on that. But yeah, guys, I want some links to some North Korean music. That is something you never thought you'd be asked before, eh? Yay! Ninganis remix would be a really good idea, actually. I just want to find, to be honest, whatever would most piss off Kim Jong-un, whatever one would most piss off Kim Jong-un, that's the one I'll remix it to. You know, I might put it in there, and then I might just add a little bit of Prodigy Smack My Bitch Up halfway through. just whatever's going to piss off Kim Jong-un as much as possible. Maybe a little bit of Firework by Katy Perry. You did it again. Can't top that. Yeah. North Korean firing squad brass band. I hate to say it, but if you find it, so long as the video is not graphic, I'll give it a go. Morang Bong Band. I am copying that down. I think there's one, it might be the band you picked, by the way, Lenny. There's one band which is, the members are all women. They're musicians as well. It's not just a girl band, but they got singers, they got musicians, and all of the members are hand-picked. When I say hand-picked, I don't know how much hands-on it is, by Kim Jong-un, and they're allowed to be slightly more musically subversive. They do slightly more pop songs. When I say slightly more pop songs, it sounds like a soft pop song from the 1970s. You know, so there's some stuff like that. Pink Fluffy Pentagram, Silent Siren Style. You know what? I would feel bad then, because I would feel that putting Silent Siren, who are such a sweet, sugary band for the best part, under a North Korean song, it sounds more like I'm attacking Silent Siren than anything else. Hi all, how long you been on? JWS, you already started with a firing squad. You talk about North Korean firing squads before you say hello. That is why we have you on this channel. Maybe So Sabakasu by Judy and Mary. Actually, you know, I'm going to write that down. I don't know. Maybe I've already heard it before, but you know, I feel like taking some Judy and Mary suggestions. I haven't listened to Judy and Mary a good old time, so let's pop them in there. Yeah, for a bit of Judy and Mary sometime. I don't know if I'll do that for the channel or if I'll just do it for myself. God, you guys are typing fast. This is JWS's fault. I blame it all on him. They cover Roots, Bloody Roots. Oh, Dean, ciao. Thanks for tuning in. I'm off, mate. Stuff to do. Cheers. That all women Korean band you are talking about is terrible, by the way. I gave them a listen. I suspect they might be. I'm just going to go in and give it a go anyway, mate. Lejean, ooh, that's good. Oh, there's a conversation going on without me here. Were you nervous about BTS fans attacking you? After my practice with... Sorry, Lejean's going to like this comment. After my practice with 1OK Rock, not so much. I mean, like I said, I don't care what people think of what I say on these videos, so long as some people are getting something from it. My big thing that I hate is either when people just hate on the video and unlike it without commenting or without, trying to fight back at all. Just getting sad and petulant. I don't like this. I'm going to go and watch a video of someone telling me my favorite band's awesome. I can't stand that. And I can't... Well, the other one's more funny because I can at least retaliate to it, is when people leave those comments that are basically like, oh, you're so thick. You don't know anything. I can't believe you don't understand. This is the greatest band in the world. It's like, yeah, okay. You've never heard of subjective opinion, have you? Like I say, when I listen to BTS, their fans so far have actually been pretty cool in the comments. Pretty nice. I mean, you can tell that some of the fans are really, really into the group in maybe a slightly biased way. Well, of course. But, they've been reasonable and they've taken it on board and they've commented on a video where I've clearly picked holes in the group that they idolize and they love. So BTS fans have actually been pretty cool about it. Much more chilled than the 1OK Rock fans who really, really, really got up in my face. But, yeah, I don't know. I tend to find that with pop, you get this really strange thing where pop fans as a general tend to be quite easygoing, even when they really love a group, because they won't even comment at all. They won't even watch your video beyond the first 10 seconds if they get the inkling that you hate it and they're ignorant. They don't usually come to pick a fight. So if a pop fan comments, it's usually because they actually want to have a discussion. So I wasn't too bothered about BTS fans being angry. I was just kind of interested to see what kind of ratio we got. But like I say, if people just want to be petulant about it stuff, that's their problem. It's not mine. Lenny, a Michelle Ho song, Love You No More. It's very anti-Kim. Oh, produced by... All right, I'm going to... Lenny, that's an interesting one. So this is a Korean artist who's recorded outside of Korea. Outside of North Korea, but actually in a sort of anti-Kim move. That's really interesting. I definitely will check that out. Got to start with a good one. None of them did actually. All friendly. Yeah. I agree. Lejean, I agree actually. Like, yeah, if you're referring to the BTS commenters, they've been really good. I know some of them have been like, there was one who was like saying to me about, well, they are good because they sing and they write their own songs and the lead singer has an IQ of 148. And I was just thinking, someone's IQ, it's kind of like your guitar skills. That doesn't make a song good, that doesn't impress me. But I did kind of get that they were trying to draw the case. It wasn't them attacking me for doing a video. It was them trying to draw a case and start a discussion. So like I say, I think pop fans as a general people think of pop fans as being very obsessive, but usually they're much more reasonable than a lot of like metal fans tend to be. Much harder to have a conversation with because they have a much more set opinion of what's okay a lot of the time. Anyway, let's keep on having a look at the comments. There's a lot of comments here. That pleasing to hear, Lejean. 12 watching, only 3 likes. Show that nice man some love. Yeah, thank you, CMC. Thank you. There's a lot of people just watching going, bastard. Maron Bang is the band in North Korea. Yeah, no, I picked up on that. I put that one down as well. So that you mean that's the same? Oh, okay, that's the same one you mentioned. Okay. Well, I'm a casual fan of theirs, not a diehard fan, but even the diehards were positive because Howard was open and honest. I agree. I'm not going to say that I'm sure there was probably a couple of people who went on the video, immediately turned up their nose and left. But that is the thing with pop. There's less confrontation with fans a lot of the time. If people don't like what you're saying, they won't tend to get in your face. They'll just go, okay, I don't want to hear this and leave. So yeah, I'm not going to say that. I'm sure that BTS have some crazy obsessive fans, because at that level of fame, of course you do. But I just think that as a general, those who type are usually not haters when it comes to pop music, not so much. Like I said, I think the reason why the 1OK Rock fans were much more aggressive is because they mostly came from the band's past of being more of a harder rock band. And so they kind of like had that thing of, you know, the band we love is super awesome quality, hands off, you know, kind of thing. Which, like I say, is interesting, because BTS, I went in with no prior reason to like them, just kind of like, let's listen to this. Whereas 1OK Rock, I already liked before their fans decided to try and kick me in the head. So let's have a little look here. My Baby Metal Glastonbury backstage was copyright taken down after 5 views, and 3 of them were me. Told you, man. I told you Glastonbury stuff that's poison, man. You can't touch that. They're all over it. I had a little bit of an experiment with a little bit of Glastonbury footage where I changed the sound, uploaded it as a private link, and YouTube luckily will do the copyright check even if you upload it as private. And it's just like, nope, don't touch that. Now that you have us, do OK Rock again. We got your back. Yeah, I am. After talking to Lejean before, I am going to come back to 1OK Rock. Let me just check where. Actually, no, I'm just going to write it up further up the list anyway. The list is a bit of a mess. It's not scheduled because I haven't picked a song. But yeah, I will come back to 1OK Rock definitely. And I'm sure it will attract back some of the people who were angry last time, so we can open up a little bit more dialogue. Hopefully not too heated this time in the comments. Lejean saying what I just said there. Monsieur Ho is Malaysian. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of research into that one. Don't worry. North Korean death metal, Red War track 1, War with the US sounds like it would be fun. Is that an actual thing, or did you just make that up? Because you've got a very vivid imagination, CMC. I don't know what you're making up and what's real anymore. I'm going to write it down anyway. It's going to turn out to be fake. How about some Japanese country music, or is that a thing? It is a thing. In fact, there's actually, I can't remember her name. There's a really famous country singer from Japan, and she is quite possibly the most smiley, happy, friendly-looking human being in the world. She just looks like everyone's happy aunt. I need to probably find some of her music, but yeah, there is Japanese country music. Of course, when we talk about country, we're talking about assumedly in the American style of country. Lejean, Howard, you also missed my comments about Incubus requests. If I haven't heard these, I'm going to copy those. I'll copy those in. Don't worry. I might, like I say, I might have heard of them, but let's just put them on the notepad. I mean, sometimes when we have stuff on here that just for some reason might not fit into the channel's videos, I do just listen to it for my own pleasure, and I'll get back to you if I ever do that. It was a BM backstage warm-up. Okay, that's still. Lip gossip. You sound like a troll. We'll see based on your following comments. CMC. Also, how about listening to the Winking Owl? Oh, no real thing. Thank you very much. Winking Owl. Where's Winking Owl from? Is that a Japanese one? Never heard of it. Oh, wait. I just realized one of my previous notes was incomplete. There we go. Back around. Do bands just get promoted a lot in Japan? I find in UK, music doesn't seem to get promoted much anymore. Maybe it's lack of programs like Top of the Pops, but unless you listen to radio. No, you know what? Music promotion is massive here. Like I say, this is how I heard of Silent Siren the first time, just adverts on trains. I mentioned about Nana Mizuki earlier in this channel, because if you go into Akihabara, her picture is everywhere. Adverts for her singles. She's got a single coming out every day, it seems. There is a massive amount of music promotion here. Music promotion in England is just very different, because the music industry has very little money in it, because no one, I'm just going to be honest, no one gives a damn about the music industry in England, because they don't. This is why all the venues are closing, because no one invests in it. No one's interested. All of the promoters are low level, small, so they promote in kind of local ways. Bigger gigs tend to be promoted through like sponsored websites, like your ticket stub websites. You know, promotion's only available if you go and look for it, because music is not people. However much they say it, people don't care enough about music in the UK for it to be worth doing an advert that is going to be viewable to everyone. The only way advertising music in the UK is in a way where, for people who come to you. So I hate to say it, but Purple Heart, the truth is that most countries, I think, have better music promotion than the UK, especially Japan, where people do put their money where their ears are. Audius, Puffy Eyes. That song was recommended to me before. Apologies. I should have maybe checked that out as the first one, but I didn't. Okay, let's pop that in. Aldius. However we're saying that. God knows. Puffy Eyes. Okay. Did you see Baby Metal promo truck? No, but I'll tell you one thing. I have heard about this. There's a lot of promo trucks around this area because I'm very close to Ake Harbour anyway. But one of the things I did notice is if you go into the Lawson is a convenience store here, and they have a particular, some of their shops are Lawson 100, which means it's the 100 yen variation. It's pretty much all the same stuff but cheaper. So I don't know why anyone goes to normal Lawsons, even though there's more of them. But if you go into Lawson 100, pretty much all the time now, they're playing Elevator Girl by Baby Metal. I don't know why, but I have no problem with that. I love that. Did you see Baby Metal promo? Japanese band. Thanks, CMC. For one of the bandmade releases, was a 50-foot Miku on the side of a building. Big pigeon pot. Really? A 50-foot Miku? Sad I wasn't there for that. Japan and South Korea, in my honest opinion, are great at promoting the music locally, at least. I will mention one thing. I was going to mention this in the South Korean videos, but I didn't really find a point to put it in. I do actually, I mean, as I said, I have some issues with the South Korean musical system. It is incredibly effective. It's more effective even than the Japanese one. I mean, they're doing an amazing job promotion-wise. But one of my biggest issues is if you buy, I mean, just gives you an idea of how they think about music. You look at Japanese music, like I was showing earlier with these bandmade CDs, it comes in beautiful CD cases. It's fantastic. It's a real treasuring of the item. You look at Korean CDs, it's not so much that it's not that, but when you go into the CD shop, the CDs aren't even in alphabetical order. They're not in genre order. You have two sides. One is boys, the other is girls, which shows that the priority is not really finding the band as, do you like to look at boys or do you like to look at girls? It's like the idol is, everyone talks about AKB and the sort of idol factor in the Japanese music industry being too much, and I agree. But you've really gone too far when you regard the most important discerning factor of what music you're going to buy as to the gender of the person who produced it, because you only like to listen to music if you're attracted to the artist. Nothing wrong with being attracted to the artist. It's a good promotional tactic for the for the band. But when that's put first and foremost, and everything is about the visual, everything is about the visual in the Korean music industry. It's not saying it's not in Japan as well, but way more in Korea. So I have just this cynical feeling to a lot of the things I see from the Korean music industry, but it is very efficient. It's a good system, and it has allowed some good artists to have slipped through that system and managed to get some credibility by doing so. So yeah, it's a great system, but it is a bit of an awkward one. Lejean Odir. Sorry. You hear anything about the natter setting fire to hentai? Last day I was remember there. Last I heard it was 13 dead. They just calling it an animation studio here, which kind of gave everyone immediately went, oh, you're calling it an animation studio, but you're not mentioning any names. So I think everyone kind of worked out what was meant by that. It's I don't know if Jean is saying it wasn't hentai, but a lot of people here were saying, why are they just calling it an animation studio? So I think a lot of people were assuming that maybe it's something, shall we say, more morally ambiguous. But I don't know. But it's tragic. I mean, I think we just need to a degree, be happy that Japan has less of these problems, less of these things happening. It's newsworthy when someone does die or when people die, because it's so rare for these kind of tragedies in Japan. But still, oh really? So was it? So it's interesting, Jean, because I heard nothing about the name of the animation studio, and a lot of people I spoke to here, Japanese people, were saying they were suspicious about the fact that none of the TV news things were giving the name of the channel. So that's quite interesting. Japanese Russian duo. Check out video. Feature shop in Japan. You should recognize. All right, I'll copy that one down. Oh no, 34. Jesus. Like I said, I don't know much about what happened in that instant, but the news that I saw was quite sparing, didn't give much detail. I think that might be the case in Japan as a general. They tend not to obsess too much on the details while the tragedy is still unfolding. American real media reporting that might just be ridiculous. People suck. Yeah, well, some of them do. Some of them do, and unfortunately, the people who suck tend to have a bad effect on the people who don't. So my favorite's quite sad. Yeah, it's wrong. I just got into US sports. Don't worry. I mean, JWS, when these things happen, there's always some people who jump to strange reports. Like I say, some of my Japanese friends have been quite. They've been saying, you know, why does it just say animation studio? And I think a lot of people raised eyebrows here. It might just be because of the nature of the tragedy that maybe they're not saying too much. But then again, it would appear that Lejeune, who knows which studio this was, so maybe it's just some media outlets are being a bit more vague for some reason. The more you get to know people, the more I like my animals. Yeah, I've heard that said a lot. It is interesting, though. I think I've heard. I know people from abroad who've moved to Japan. I know, obviously, people who've never been to Japan. I know Japanese people who've always stayed in this country, and Japanese people who've been abroad. You've seen all these kind of variations, and you hear lots of people say different things about Japan. And I think it's Japanese people, Japanese life, and I think it either works for you, you don't. Either it's something that fits you as a person and you fit into, or you don't. I've always found it very easy to fit into Japanese life for the best part. There's some things I found a bit difficult, but most things much easier than living in England. It just suits me more. And, you know, the people who don't find it easy here, whether they be Japanese people who leave Japan or people who come here from abroad and go back, a lot of the time they say that there are those feelings that they feel that people tend to be very don't let their emotions out too much, and it's very hard to read people, and that can lead to, I know there can be sort of emotional repressions and people letting out by doing these terrible things, but as a general, I think most people are more careful with their faults rather than when you go to maybe some European countries and some place in America where people just they wear their feelings on their sleeve, and it leads to things going out of control. And that does sort of cause a lot of the things you have with like violent crime in other countries is down to the fact that people don't know when to stop. So for all the things I've heard about Japan and the Japanese style way of thinking, I do think that there's less problems here, and I think people as a general are more careful not to let things get out of control. So yeah, a lot of people suck, but luckily there's a lot of people who it's the good ones you never see. It's the good ones who never get reported. You never do a news report saying X million people didn't do anything crazy today. Yeah, New Zealand publisher. Yeah, New Zealand probably have better press. That's probably why. Mind when the tube poisoning happened, they tried to cover that up probably. Okay. Actually, the tube poisoning, incidentally, I lived in a house in Funabashi for a short time, but that was right around the corner from the house where that was all masterminded, apparently, which was a creepy thing to find out. Growing up in Northern Ireland in the 70s and 80s tends to colour your view of people. Yeah, no, this is the contentious subject, but I do think that you have to have real problems, you have to throw in something that makes people crazy. And in the case of a lot of these things, that is religion. Hate to say it, but it is very often something that is the catalyst. And you look at Ireland, you've got people going crazy over religion. I'm sure that a lot of people using religion as an excuse, but religion can color people's thoughts. And you need something to make people illogical. You need something to take people away from their logical mindset. And in Japan, it could be people something about, you know, the pressure of Japanese life. I get that. But when you have some certain societies who base their entire feeling of you're a good or you're a bad person based on what scriptures you believe, then you're going to have trouble. We're getting into very big subjects here, but you know, that goes for any environment you grow up. It can do, but true that. I really hate people. I know you hate people, JWS. It's just like, you know, you should have that tattooed on your forehead. Hurt a dog and I'll stop someone breathing, but you go, man. To each their own. True. So why do you have Golden Dawn as group's name, but sure that wrong? I don't know what you're talking about there. Golden Dawn stuff. That's all outside of my area of what are you talking about? So anyway, guys, we're coming up to 2 hours. I'm thinking of wrapping this one up fairly soon. I'm just trying to think if there's anything I haven't covered. Thank you so much. Like I say, you guys now have the channel email. I want you guys to use it if you don't mind. I'm just going to write it again because I get the feeling it's hard for you guys to communicate with me, and this chat thing has been blocking links, and it's just getting worse every week with the upgrades. So here's the email link again, and yeah, yeah. It wasn't just hard. It's just like I'm one of those people who, when you start talking about those topics, I have just as much to say on that kind of thing as I do on music, probably even dangerously more. So it's best for me to stay out of that kind of thing. But yeah, I just, you know, I think the world's got enough complications in it as well. So let's stick to the fun stuff. But anyway, yeah, no, we have been online for over 2 hours. So it's about time I start to wrap things off. Don't worry, I'm not just going to suddenly cut you all off. I'm just sort of trying to wrap things up now. A name when you pop into the US, Laura Shea. I think that one, did you mention that one? Maybe you did. I'm just going to copy that again. So yeah, let's just cover a couple of points again, just see if anything comes up which is worth mentioning in conversation. But yeah, cover a few points. You live near Chernobyl, 200 miles north. That's close enough, my friend. That's close enough. It goes right downhill. Yeah, I wonder why that is, JWS. Yeah, goddamn. Oh, damn. I write to you for crap anyway. You're asking people to ignore you. That's like the anti-trolling. You've shown an innocent side there, JWS. So guys, look, you've got the email address. Please copy that down. Feel free to email me anytime. I haven't given it to anyone else because I haven't used it until right now on this live stream. So other than Google filling my inbox with crap that I don't need, it will just be, I should find a way to filter it just for you guys. So please, obviously, try and use it sparingly. Try and get, if you're sending me several links, try and get them into one email. Please appreciate it's going to take me a little while to get through to everything. You guys are giving me some great thoughts on the Patreon. I'm going to try and get that set up in the next few days as well, between doing all these videos that I'm trying to get ahead of. I'm really trying to cram in a lot of work at the moment, so I really appreciate your patience. I'm sorry that nothing really went up today. I'm going to post hopefully something amusing in the next couple of hours, or at least in the morning here. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's because I spent today, instead of editing, I was just recording, and that's kind of going to be the case tomorrow, but I will try and keep the videos coming along. Giving up on trolling, it's not fun anymore. JWS, I think that's something where I wish there was more people as mature as you on that one. Okay. Dude, been spanky time in Japan. Yeah, do you know, actually, I'll tell you something funny. When I first tried to do an X Japan, you know where this is going. When I first tried to do an X Japan video, I typed in X Japan into YouTube, and I captured the first video that came along, and it's basically just a video of a guy on a train being groped by women. I was like, X Japan. Oh, I see. This is a dangerous thing to type into YouTube. I especially feel sorry for the band, because, like, you know, the band are looking at that and probably, oh, you type in X Japan, what's the first thing that comes up? It's certainly on the first page. I think it's because I was trying to avoid live videos, and so the first thing that looked like it was produced was a picture of people on a bus or a train or something. I was like, oh, this looks like some kind of music video. I downloaded it. I was like, this music doesn't sound like rock. This guy's getting groped. We'll go here. Good time to call it. Yeah, agreed. Good. Oh, good night, Harrow. Yeah, thank you, Harrow. Thank you for standing up so late on this one because it's the same time for you as it is for me. Lenny, I appreciate all your time and efforts invested. Thank you. Like I say, I'm putting the whole thing into it. Not so much for appreciation, although I like it when I get the appreciation, but just if you guys are enjoying it, it's all that matters. Enjoy myself as always. Thank you for these. JB, let's go on. No, you already said goodbye, man. You missed out on that extra pan action. 5:10 a.m. Thank you for the Final Fantasy 14 for me now. Good luck to you. Thanks again. Always fun. All right, guys, I'm going to call it quits. Seems you guys are all ready. Thank you so much for helping me wrap this one up. And like I say, you've got the email, guys. Write it down. Use it. You're more than welcome to message me. Just try and keep the messages all together, not like a million one-sentence messages if you can avoid it. Thank you so much. As always, from Japan, it has been a pleasure. Once this is finished, pop some comments on this video in the normal comment section if you've got more to say, or email me. Long live Bontempi, just for you. Yeah, I just felt it'd be one of the Patreon perks. Get the Bontempi version. So for now, from Japan, thank you so much. And how to say this best? Ciao, ciao.